The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Jets insider Robby Sabo saw some concerning things from the Jets coaching staff in their loss against the Dolphins. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Guys, we always say this, and it's always going to be pretty. I got one game ball.
Let's keep it going next week.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Tuesday, by the way, it is Raffle Day. End of the stream today. We raffle away a signed Joe Namath helmet, signed Nick Mangold football, and a signed helmet by C.J. Mosley. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. And ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to the co-founder of JetsXFactor.com, Robby Sabo. Mr. Sabo, always appreciate you joining us. Happy Tuesday, my friend.
What's up, Jake? How we feeling today, huh?
I feel as bad as the Jets played for the vast majority of that game on Sunday. I was hoping I'd feel a little better today, but
yeah,
more the same.
I mean, your manager is Paul Bearer then. I mean, you need an Undertaker because the Jets were just brutal. It was, listen, Jets fans are lost. They have lost their way. I get it. And it's through no fault of their own. They have been put through the ringer, put through hell. You know, they feel the way Jake looks. There's no question. So I get it. And you know, much of the real-time stuff I was talking about during the game was it was obvious they were badly out schemed. When a team is averaging close to 12 yards a carry, 12 yards a play on the first 15 plays, that's scheme. That's coaching. It's evident, you know, when they're edge pressuring and guessing wrong on the backside every time, you know, sending the edge pressure off the right and the play goes the opposite way. That's scheme. So Jets fans, you know, when someone says that, they're not trying to tell you the talent is good. I came on here in the summertime and said the talent is worse than last year. They intentionally got worse at a lot of positions. And right now, without Sauce and Quinnen, they're probably bottom 4 or 5 defensive talent. But guys, you know, the scheme and the coaching was that bad. There's no question about it.
When you bring up the coaching and you bring up the scheme, are we starting with defense then? Kind of go into some specifics here. What alarmed you watching this on Sunday?
I mean, it was everything, no question. Take out special teams, obviously, because they're playing tremendously, but defense mainly. As a casual watcher, when you're watching it, and it looks so easy for McDaniel and the Dolphins, there's a reason for that. And because there's a few different things McDaniel had in his game plan. Number one, try to run to Kiko's side each time. He's a rookie. There's certain things he tries to do but can't get done. Number two, knowing that Harrison Phillips, the Jets, under Saleh and a lot of 4-3 schemes, the defensive, we'll call it a nose tackle, even though it's not a nose tackle. The one tech, 2-eye tech, would be lined up inside shoulder of the guard, which is a 2-eye. Since they got Phillips, and Phillips is playing hurt, much kudos to him. He's trying to do everything he can, and they don't have enough bodies. They've been lining Phillips over the center more, you know, in a one tech, which means there's a big gaping space if you're watching the TV between Phillips and the edge, whichever side he's on. And McDaniel attacked that. Yes, every guy's assigned a hole to run plug, but you have to be perfect. And if a guy overruns it on the second level, like Sherwood, who did repeatedly on that 39-yard Achane run where there was missed tackles left and right, Malachi Moore, then down the field with Stevens and someone else at the same time, Sherwood overran it. And you can't overrun it. You have to stick to your principle. You have to remain inside out if you're the Mike there. And he just got even with Achane. And as soon as Achane saw he was even, he cut it back to the inside. Stuff like that. It's scheme and just a lack of responsibility.
Steve Wilks, Robbie. I mean, what do you have to say about just him at this point specifically?
He to be fair, he's not working with much. We know this. The talent is pretty bad. The thing that concerns me is you could get out schemed in a game, and that's okay at times. I mean, this was epic in terms of how badly out schemed they were, but the same mistakes keep popping up. And the thing is, you could see the intent. The intent is good. They're trying to do the right thing. We sat here last spring. Remember when we talked about Sherwood? I didn't think they would resign him because he's very similar to Quincy. He's a smaller guy, east-west, sideline to sideline, could scrape but can't really fill or spill. So I didn't think they'd resign him. They did. You could see them working with Sherwood and Quincy and trying to get them to do the right thing in terms of being more physical and stout and meeting fullbacks and meeting offensive linemen at the line instead of waiting and trying to be elusive and go around and elude. So you see the intent, which is good, but they just keep making the same mistakes and keep trying to play hero ball as opposed to doing the single thing they're supposed to do on the play that'll help all 10 other guys.
I just don't see how you can bring him back. I understand the talent is not great, but anytime they've gone up against a smart, sophisticated offensive mind on the other side, the Jets have been outclassed. And again, McDaniel did this to them now twice, and it felt like it was a lot of the same plays that they used against the Jets in the first matchup, where the Jets just bit on the play action fake again and again and again in that one. We saw something very similar in this game Sunday at MetLife.
It's two things, and we talked about it before. Actually, one thing we talked about, the second thing is new. When they play a competent quarterback matched up with a competent offensive mind, they have no chance this year. That's the pattern. I mean, their 3 wins have been special teams driven and playing a subpar quarterback. I mean, Knicks is definitely an outlier. It was a London game. It was definitely an outlier. We'll throw that into the category, but it's that. And number 2, speed in the rushing game. When you have an Achane who could cut back and make you pay for being overzealous and over pursuing and doing the wrong thing and trying to be the hero, it'll crush you. And that is the thing they can't even contend with. They can't contend with that. There were some run blitzes. Wilks tried to do certain things early in terms of the game plan. I don't think there was enough of that. One of the plays, I think it was the Achane 39-yarder. It was a run blitz off the edge with Kiko. But the problem is it came on the underside, on the Phillips side. McDonald is over there. So they're asking McDonald to crash down into the B or C gap. I don't know. And McDonald's just not suited for that. And then Kiko replaces him on the edge. I got to see more A gap fills, run blitzes, more B gaps, more interior stuff. It's tough. Now, to their credit, they kind of wrote the ship a little bit after that start, but Achane was hurt. The game kind of fractured. Brady Cook got in there. So, I'm still going through the tape. It was really ugly in terms of your Wilks stuff. Yeah, I get it. My mind usually goes beyond that in terms of Glenn. Glenn is the guy I'm really focused on, and the offensive coaching staff. I think that's the meat and potatoes. But there's no way I'm going to argue with you. It's been a terrible, terrible showing this year.
And look, I'll say this for Glenn hiring Wilks. I didn't mind the hire at the time because I thought the process made sense. First-time head coach wants to bring in someone with experience to his staff, can run the defense so Glenn could be, the head coach of the whole team. It made sense. It just hasn't worked. Like, unfortunately, instead of having McVay to Wade Phillips, they got a guy that, unfortunately, maybe the game has passed him by. It just has not worked out for whatever the reason might be. Hopefully, they're not stubborn and they recognize that, because I think the Angstran hire and obviously the Banjo hire, I think those are good hires overall. Banjo's been great. Angstran, I think, is not perfect, but he's improving, and there's enough there where I see the vision. You can't justify bringing Wilks back if you want to be a serious team next year.
It's funny. Angstran, I think I've been more okay with Angstran than you so far this year. This last game, I'm really down on Angstran. It was one of those rare, unique games in which I wanted to see if he could roll with the punches. You have a young quarterback coming in, you're getting dominated. can you roll with the punches? Can you do things to make his life easier? Get him some easy completions on one of the early plays as soon as he came in. Brady Cook comes in there, his mind is racing. He's a nutcase. He's a mental patient. You could see it. And that's up to Cook to get down. I mean, don't get me wrong. He is the last bastion. He's got to get it right. But Engstrand, I just didn't. His first pass came on that 3rd and long one where he just missed the underneath shallow cross and zoomed it in there like a nut. I was a little down on Engstrand, but overall, yes, I'm with you. And it's going to be key. The offense. What else is funny too? Glenn chose Fields. And I was thinking about this after last night's game. Glenn chose Fields in this type of offense in the very year it all falls apart for this type of offense. Baltimore with Lamar, Hurts with Philly, Jaden Daniels with Washington. Now, can it be an outlier? Sure. But if you're a Jet fan, Glenn choosing this type of rushing quarterback specific offense in the league, it all falls apart is just yet again one of those things you throw your hands up in the air and say, what the hell's going on?
Man, it's been a weird year. And by the way, you bring up the Eagles, right? Yeah. How about the fact the Jet defense has one takeaway all season, right? Yeah. There was a play last night where the Chargers defense had 2 takeaways on the same play, right? Hurts throws an interception. The Chargers player fumbles it. Hurts recovers it, and then he fumbles. You had a play last night where the quarterback of the Eagles turned it over twice, and the Chargers defense had 2 takeaways on the same play. The Jets have 1 takeaway all season, Robbie. 1.
They don't make the opposing quarterback uncomfortable. That's what it comes down to.
They get no pressure on the quarterback. They have vanilla looks that any bright offensive mind can figure out. And the talent is not good enough to play the scheme they play. That's what it comes down to.
Yes, it's as if they're not really. This isn't meant to be insulting, but it's as if they're not really fully scheming and game planning week to week, because they're in a much lower part of the phase in terms of program where they're just teaching basics. They're teaching fundamentals. And I'm not saying it's the same every week. It's not. They're definitely game planning for teams. But that's the feeling you get sometimes. And it's just brutal. And personally, by the way, as a defensive guy first, myself, defensive coach, I am going to be rooting hard for Houston and the good defenses in the playoffs. I really hope this is a sign of things to come. In terms of defense is starting to, flip the switch a little bit and start to catch up to the offense.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. For those tuning in late, it is Raffle Day. End of the show today, which the way I sound right now might be our only show today because I am sick. We're going to raffle away a CJ Mosley helmet, Nick Mangold signed football, and a signed Joe Namath helmet. If you want to enter, you know the drill. Gift the membership to the community or send in a super chat, $5 or higher to qualify, and a little 2-for-1. If you enter the raffle today, you could still qualify for raffle 53. And then next week, I already tell you what the top prize is, folks. It's a signed football by the GOAT, Darrelle Revis. So if you enter during this show only, you get 2 for the price of 1. Shout out to everyone who continues to support the weekly and daily raffles on the show. I want to get to this comment here from Dave Briga, and then I do want to get into your thoughts on Brady Cook because you were the guy that was maybe higher on Cook than anyone over the summer. So we'll talk about him. But Dave wants to know, give us your honest opinion of Jamie and Sherwood.
It's been rough. It's been rough. I mean, first and foremost, he was playing high safety in college at times. And, I get it. The NFL is a different world. And Saleh really had a vision to be okay with quicker, lighter linebackers. And I understand why in terms of his scheme, but maybe they went a little too far. Not only did they take Sherwood, they took Hamza as well. The Florida State kid. I think he was Florida State.
Hamza Nasruddin.
Yeah, Nasruddin in that draft. And, I know he won team MVP last year, grabbed a lot of accolades. But I promise you, year by year, this happens. When his production overall on the stat sheet in terms of being lauded and talked about is not the same as on tape. He had many bad games and bad plays last year. The Arizona game coming to mind. So it's been rougher this year. It's been worse this year, no question. He just he's in his own head a bit. I think he's trying so hard to do the right thing that sometimes he just can't help it and does the wrong thing.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Before we get to Brady Cook, how about we get to this from Rick Kent? 5 gifted memberships to the community from our guy, Rick Kent.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Giving away 5 hugs, 5 raffle tickets. Hey, Andrew Fialco getting a membership, former JetX.
Oh,
Coach Fialco.
yeah, that's my dude. That's my dude right there.
That's you, Andrew. Hope you're doing well if you're watching live. Ryan McCruro, Chris Moses, Phil Sounds, Spencer Green. Hey, Spence, where you been, man? Those are the 5 people who got a membership from Rick. Rick, as always, appreciate your support of our show. All right, let's talk Brady Cook now, Robbie, because you and I were texting about this the last couple of days. Impossible spot for anyone to make their debut, let alone a UDFA coming into this game down 21-0. What did you see from Brady Cook in his first official NFL action?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned already, he came in, his mind was racing. He was a basket case. There's no way around it. And it's a tough spot, no question. He just got elevated to QB2. That's one thing. There's stuff that comes with that. And he got thrown into the fire of not just a game, but a game where the Jets offense was already getting stonewalled. Like, in other words, it wasn't a fresh situation. He came in where the field was tilted so badly. So the first drive, good Breece Hall run off the right side. I forgot what the concept, maybe an outside zone. I'm not sure. And they eventually get it down to, I think it was like a 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. And Breece, this might have been Breece's worst game because he reverted back to hero status where he was trying to hit a home run on each play. And I get it. You're down 21-0. You're trying to make a play. But on that 2nd and 3 in Cook's first drive, he could have just cut it up and picked up the first down. And he tried to go around and got tackled for a loss. So, it's 3rd down, 3rd and short. They go gun, spread, passing down short yardage. You want your quarterback to hit this, but that's it. Again, if I'm coaching, I want to put my young QB who's losing his mind at this moment in a much more surprising spot for the defense. Like, pass rush, first down, play action, something on the move, make it comfortable for him. Receiver screen, make it comfortable for him. And on that 3rd and whatever it was, 2 or 3, terrible. He just, I don't know where his eyes were. He just zoomed it in there on the shallow cross. The interception before the half. Listen, you can't make that throw. When it's 3rd and 15, and I don't know if it was 3rd and goal, but effectively 3rd and goal from the 15, every DB is going to have his eyes on you because it's 3rd and 15. You have a small space to work with. So everyone's going to be lined up at the goal line pretty much, and they won't have to turn their hips at all. So knowing that their eyes are going to be on you, you have to understand you can't force it in there. That's knock number 2. The interception, I'm not worried about. He just didn't get the touch on it. He tried to make a play. So those were the really 2 bad ones. The on the move to the left towards the sideline where he threw it to the inside of AD, that didn't look good. But the other plays, there was some good stuff there. I mean, the whole shot in the cover 2, I think it was 2. I got to look at it again. Was it AD or Mechie? I can't remember. On the right sideline, that was a pretty good throw. He anticipates well. The Stone Smart throw. I mean, if someone wants to call it a hospital ball, that's fair. In the situation, he had to throw it early against that coverage and snuck it in there. Let's put it this way. It's against the rules for any UDFA quarterback based on history to say he has a chance. Point, period, blank. You'd have to be a loon to say that. It's just against the rules. Anyone who says it will be looked at sideways. But you have to also be true to your eyes. And what I saw in OTAs from Brady Cook was a guy who didn't belong. He was sailing seam balls against air. He just didn't belong. When we got back to training camp, however, it was a different guy. And he started improving. He started making throws and doing things with his personality and, those traits that make you go, whoa, this might be not the regular UDFA quarterback that you're used to. So that's where it started. And I think even this game, the stats are horrible. The end result is horrible. It's a loss where the Jets got their asses kicked. So nothing's going to be looked at, fairly or even in a good way. So I think the production in terms of what he did on the field in the situation was better than people think. I'll leave it at that.
I think he deserves, a full week of practice, a full opportunity
for sure
to showcase himself. Because again, if Tyrod's not healthy this week, and why would he be? He's always hurt. There's
Yeah.
no point in going back to Fields.
What
If I'm
play
going
did
to
he get
lose,
hurt on, by the way? Does anyone know what play he got hurt on? Tyrod?
see, that's the thing. I don't even know we could point to one play where he got hurt, because a groin could happen, with him just walking funny, and this is unfortunate with Tyrod. It's why if you were to bring him back next year, you would need to still sign another bridge option, right? It would need to be Tyrod, Gardner Minshew, and then hopefully a rookie in the first round, or Tyrod, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Tyrod and, Marcus Mariota, and then a rookie. It's just unfortunate. If you guaranteed Tyrod's health, if it's Madden, you could turn off injuries. He's the perfect bridge, but he's always hurt. And we saw this again. It was only a matter of time, as we've been talking about, since they made the change to go from Fields to Tyrod. At least we got a couple games of Tyrod to evaluate Mitchell, and get a better feel for the offense.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose. Throw the kid in there. So I think we start here. He's not the usual UDFA quarterback. I think that's a fair statement. There's something intriguing there. We're not talking Montana Unitas. We're talking something intriguing as opposed to a regular UDFA. So why not give him the week? Give him the week to lead the way. If it works out and he shows something, then you could consider something in the future. In my view, if he goes out and throws 20 touchdowns to 0 interceptions in these last 4 games, I don't even promise him the backup job. That's not what these last 4 games are for. It's to see if he could potentially be a guy. And based on what I saw, he was a mental case when he came in, but he did settle down, and you could see it. Once he did settle down, he was making anticipatory throws against regular defenses. The last drive, it was soft. It wasn't anything you could really measure except for the anticipation. It's not regular. Everything is broken up already. It's fractured. But coming out of the half, they had a plan, a lot more receiver screens, 3-step drops, get it out quickly. When you look at his release, it's a quick release. It's compact, and the accuracy on the short balls was there. I mean, Mechie dropped a touchdown. He would have had a touchdown right there. The medium and deep accuracy is where there's issues. Was it Mason Taylor or Ruckert? I think that was the worst ball where he just missed it inside. You got to hit that one. It was like a 12 or 15 yard outbreaker, kind towards the numbers. I got to look at that one. That wasn't a good one either. So, yeah, give him a shot. See what happens. You can't lose either way. If he shows something, then you can consider him and say, okay, we'll have him in the room next year. And if he doesn't, then you think to the draft.
We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, Robbie. I mean, you got nothing to lose. You're an 11.5-point underdog against the Jaguars on Sunday.
Yeah, dude, do it.
Let cook. And if you lose, I'm at the point, Sabo, where I need this team to finish with a top 5 pick, top 3 pick even. Which if they finish 3-14, you play the percentages. That's where they would finish. The less they have to give up to get a quarterback, to me, is in the best interest of the franchise long term. I'm not someone who's pro tank, but I can't buy, they're making so much progress and we're seeing improvement, when all that improvement goes, to me, out the window when you no-show against a division opponent at home on Sunday. Like, I can't buy the progress being made when that's the effort we just got on Sunday. Had they won and played well, I wouldn't be screaming and yelling about it. But, to me, the win over the Browns, beating Atlanta, it means nothing if you can't beat a division opponent at home. And they just didn't. It's not just that they lost, how they lost, really concerning. So I'm team lose out for the better draft pick. That's where I'm at. What say you?
I'm team, it does. If Glenn's not the guy, nothing matters. That's the team I'm on. So if we're narrowing it down shorter and closer and more near term, short term, yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the team that doesn't criticize any fan for any line of thinking. I think the pro tankers who yell at the guys who are anti-tank, it's silly. I think the anti-tankers who yell at it's silly. It's, it is what it is. It's going to happen. And, the coaching staff, the players are not worried about where they're going to pick. If Muji's the real deal, Glenn is the real deal in personnel, they're going to get the right guys. They're going to get the right quarterback. But if Glenn can't lead the way in terms of a head coach of a coaching staff, doesn't matter if they're picking 1st or 20th. Let's be real.
Franklin says, you think changing a losing mentality is easy to overcome? Win, 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 always. I get it, but there's 4 games to go. I don't think a win over the Saints or the Jaguars is going to change a losing mentality. I don't think there's a carryover. I think at this
it's all
point,
context.
like if there were, half a season left, like when they were 0-7, I was rooting for them to win games. I wasn't rooting like some were for them to finish with 2 wins and have the first pick in the draft. I just think you get to a certain point in a year where it's tough to say, oh, winning is going to change a losing mentality. The losing mentality has already happened again this year. I mean, they have 10 plus losses for the 6th consecutive season. I don't think the wins do enough to justify potentially hurting yourself in the draft. And again, you have all these resources. You want to try and save as many of those picks as possible so you could surround that young quarterback with players. And the less you have to give up on a potential trade up, to me, is the better outcome here. Like, I think we've reached that point personally, Franklin.
Yeah, let's be fair too. When you trade away your 2 best players on defense, it's kind of a signal like that, you're not doing everything you can to try to win football games right now.
No.
Let's be fair. So, Franklin, by and large, I agree with you. I'm going to try to win no matter what. I would say it's fair that I'm probably nowhere near as consumed as draft positioning as most. But I'm not going to argue what Jake just laid out. I'm not going to argue with either. I get it. It's even if it's 1 or 2 spots in the top 5, it's a hell of a lot of points on the Jimmy Johnson chart. Let's be real.
Super chats, cut the line again. We have our raffle at the end of the show. If you want a chance to win any of our 3 signed items, including our grand prize, the signed Joe Namath helmet, make sure you enter before the show ends. And a 2-for-1 special, Raffle 54's top prize is a signed Darrelle Revis football. So if you enter for Raffle 53, you automatically are entered for the top prize in Raffle 54. Couple super chats here. Knob Craft starts us off.
Knob Craft. Nice.
Mr. Knob, how much draft capital would you qualify as too much to go after Mendoza? It's a great question, Knob. I guess it really comes down to, how do you feel about Fernando Mendoza? If you believe he's a bona fide franchise QB, some will say there is no price. For me personally, I don't want to trade more than 1 additional first-round pick in an ideal scenario. Now, if the Jets are at 7 or 8, you probably have to trade a little more than that. But I maintain the best thing to happen for the Jets is the Colts continuing to lose. Because if the Jets end up with their own first, let's say it's at 5, and the Colts first, let's say it's at 15, that is a package that is the best I think any team could realistically offer to a team like the Titans or the Giants or the Commanders, whichever team ends up with that number 1 pick. I look, if the Jets think Mendoza's the guy and they had to trade one of the 27 first to do it, I would understand it. To me, I don't want to trade more than just my first, the Colts first, and I'd be willing to trade away a premium asset, either one of my 2s this year or my second in 27.
I'm with you. And, I would say I'm probably not as high on Mendoza right now as the world is. And that's not to say I don't like him. I do like him. I like Simpson a lot too. I'm not as low on Simpson as the world is right now after that last game. I think he doesn't fall into the class of I'd give up anything. I'd give up anything to move up to get him. He's nowhere near that class. Or status. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see. We don't even know who's going to be there. We just have so much time to see what happens. Dante Moore, Simpson.
That's the other thing. We need more quarterbacks to clearly come out. So, if Moore is available, it doesn't cost as much to move up if the Jets also really like Dante Moore.
Yeah, there's a situation where you could like, a guy in the 3rd or 4th spot more than the number 1 spot. And you stick, if that's the case, and you do your homework, you stick to your guns, and you're in a beautiful position, So, I know. Listen, Mendoza's the symbol of hope right now. That's what it is. He's the symbol of hope, and he's Kirk Cousins. Illegitimate child. Is that what it is? He's Kirk Cousins' little boy. I don't know. He's really geeky. He's really happy. The interview was awesome. The post-game interview, I love it. But we'll see. We'll see. I still got to watch a lot of them. I'll tell you that.
Super chats, cut the line. DT with a funny comment. Jake is sick, ... of the Jets. I am both sick in real life and sick of the Jets. Man, Let's see. Dan with a super chat. Need the Giants to beat Las Vegas in 3 weeks. No, you need the Raiders to beat the Giants. Other way around. Oh, Dan corrected himself. Giants. We need the Giants to lose
Yeah.
to Vegas in 3 weeks. Correct. You want the Raiders to be behind the Jets.
Guys,
They have a clear need at quarterback.
You know the Jets are going to win 2 more games, right? You know that's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't see it if Brady Cook starts.
Crazy stuff happens, man. Like
It would
Billy
defy
Volek.
logic.
Remember Billy Volek for the Titans? Billy Volek tore it up for the last like 4 or 5 games of the season. Scott Mitchell in Miami. It's we'll see. Jags. The schedule's not crazy tough, but it's not powder puff either. I'm just trying to rile everybody up right now.
Jags,
2-2 the rest of the way.
Pats, Bills. I don't think there's a chance in hell they're beating the Pats or the Bills.
All right, I'll give them one. I'll give
the
them
Saints
one.
game is the last winnable game to me. Even though Jacksonville, I don't think is great. I'm not in love with Lawrence. They need the game. And by the way, it will help the Jets with that Colts pick if Jacksonville beats the Jets, because if Jacksonville wins the division, Cleveland, which also has 2 first-round picks, their first decreases in value. And thus, you want the Jets to have the highest second first-round pick available to use in a trade-up to basically beat out a potential Browns offer if they package their own first with the Jaguars pick, if that makes sense. Yes,
it does. And thought experiment. Everyone saw Beningo 2 weeks ago after the win. Spirits are high. I'm feeling good about this team. Haven't felt this way in a long time. We saw him yesterday after the loss. Bro, disaster. What is going to be the feeling for Jets fans? And I always bring up Beningo because he's the representation of Jets fans in a lot of ways. What's going to be the feeling next week if they do somehow, imagine Brady Cook rips them apart for 250 and 3 touchdowns, and they win. What's going to be the feeling the next day? Do you think it's going to be anger, mostly anger, or no?
I guess it depends who the opponent is, right? If they beat the Bills and knock them out of the playoffs, I think it will be split.
No, next week.
You're saying if they beat the Jaguars?
Yes.
I think people would be disappointed, to be honest. More people than not, because it's like, where were these wins all throughout the year? Now you win. If they beat Miami on Sunday, I think people would rather beat the Dolphins and get a division win than lose the way they did, and just to bounce back against Jacksonville. What good does that do?
Yes, and your point about it wasn't that they lost; it was how they lost.
Right. It's I can't be sold on all this improvement and progress, and then you're down 21-0 in the first quarter to a team that's supposed to be in your weight class.
100% true. And if we think about it and delve further, their wins really, special teams really carried the water. It really did. And so the number of games that they did carry the water this year is really unique and rare. It's crazy. So, not counting Cincy was nuts the way that game unfolded. Offense definitely pulled their weight. But it'll be interesting if say they somehow do win next week, or this coming week. I'm sorry.
Super chat from Dan, the Jet fan. If both Tennessee and the Giants are ahead of us at 1-2, do we negotiate with both and give up the least amount to whoever takes it, go back and forth with both teams? Well, no, Dan, because what if you do a deal with the team at number 2 and a team also wants a quarterback, comes up and makes a deal with the team at number 1?
Yeah,
you got to get there. Yeah, you got to get to number 1. Unless you have the same grade on Mendoza and Moore, both are, there for you, then I guess it's different.
If I'm Muji, my goal right now would be to, all right, guys, we have to do everything we can to feel good about a quarterback in the 3, 4, 5 range in terms of rankings without diluting ourselves. Let's do our homework so extensively to make sure we're not, just going with the usual draft ranking that happens way too far often in NFL drafts. And if they think they take that approach, and feel good about it, they just got to make sure they're not fooling themselves. And if that's the case, then you're going to be in a really good spot. If no matter where you're picking in the top 5, 6, 7.
Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line again. I apologize for the way my voice sounds. Battling right now.
It doesn't sound bad whatsoever, to be honest. You look just brutal.
Oh, yeah. Face for radio, big time today.
You don't sound bad. Yeah.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us here. Again, we have our raffle at the end of the show, so make sure you enter. Bino with a super chat. Jacob, did you see Breece Hall's comments about missing the playoffs is a yearly thing, starts weighing on you, seeing guys you're as good as or better get in? I did see those comments. And look, I mean, the reality is this playoff drought is hard on everyone. Fans, players, coaches. It's 15 years. I mean, it's the longest playoff drought in professional sports. The only way I believe it truly ends is if they figure out the quarterback situation. Like, coach and quarterback is the key, but I think people need to understand you could walk and chew gum at the same time. You could build your roster and still get a quarterback. It doesn't need to be one or the other. Like, the people that say we can't trade up, we have too many holes, don't, one, understand what it would even cost to trade up, and two, conveniently don't mention the $100 million in cap space the Jets do have, Robbie, and the fact that for a team that has a lot of needs, for a rookie quarterback to step in and not need bookend tackles, not need a wide receiver one, you have a lot of the hard stuff actually already in place for that rookie.
Fair. Yeah, tight ends, bookend tackles. There's still the young players on D, AZ, Malachi. We'll see what comes of it. JJ, listen, JJ has been disappointing for a lot of Jets fans this year. I still think he's part of the solution moving forward. He's one of the dudes. He does the right thing for the defense. And that means judging him in a way where it's not about the numbers all the time. It's not about pass rush. It's about what is he doing on a down in, down out basis. McDonald and Quincy, they're questions, they're issues. And I'm not saying them two specifically who they are. That's part of it, but how they fit into what Glenn is trying to do with the defense. It would be disappointing if they didn't draft the quarterback. There's no question. The big question for me is, would Jets fans lose their minds if it's not a first-round quarterback? And that's really going to be the fascinating thing for me.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Shout out to the 340 people in here live. The Jet fan 0051, who's been a channel member for 10 months, checks in. If the Raiders draft a QB, would you take a chance on Geno? Geno as the bridge, I guess I'm open to it, but I would still want a rookie behind him. Like, I'm not going into next year being like, all right, we have Geno Smith, we're set at the quarterback position. I would still need a rookie on the team. If Geno gets released and he's available, like, I guess I'm open to it. He might be among the better bridge options in that scenario.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. I don't know how to feel about it right now, to be honest.
He's had a terrible year.
He's been terrible. But the Raiders O-line is got to be the worst in the league. It has to be.
Yep.
They're a mess. And one of my best friends I grew up with is a Raiders fan. It's funny. I was talking to him. We used to we lived together in college a couple of years. I think just 1 year. And we played 2K all the time, 2K5 for the old folks who remember that game. He was a Raiders fan. I was a Jets fan. Great teams, Herm and who was the Gruden for the Raiders. They were great year in and year out. Battles in 2001. Raiders got the better of the Jets each time, unfortunately. But 2002, I still thought the Jets were going to go on that run. I still see Charles Woodson mugging our receivers every play, just holding them. Ridiculous, but I can't. We were talking. Look at how bad it's gotten for our teams. It's absurd. We never would have thought it 20 years ago at the time, and it's just brutal now. But Geno, I would try to avoid it at all costs. It's not the worst thing in the world. Definitely not.
It's just amazing. Like, you look at the league this year, right? Like, the best teams coming in: Cincinnati, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and Kansas City's probably missing the playoffs. The Ravens might. And it's like, here's New England, here's Denver. Like, it's a completely different NFL. There's so much parity year over year, more so maybe this year than prior years. And then there's the Jets, who are just bad every year. And typically, what's crazy? Outside of the 2020 year where they ended up with Zach Wilson, like, the Jets are bad, but they're never the worst. Like, they're just consistently bad, but they're never bad enough to actually get the number one pick.
Yeah, I mean, 96. That's pretty much it, right?
I guess 97 too when they traded it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's such an outlier year. And if you play fantasy football too, by the way, look at the receiver scoring. The receiver scoring is so down compared to previous years. So I'm still battling this in my head. Is it a sign of defense is rising up a little bit and figuring it out? There's no question the match coverages are getting better, and they're using certain boundaries and certain things to their advantage to swap off reads, primary, secondary. But with the way the rules are, the short passing is still so dominant. It turns into a time of possession offensive game still, short completion game. But has the quarterback with legs offense gone by the wayside? That's the big question. Will they come back out strong next year? I don't think Mahomes fits into that category. He's a pocket passer first. They're just in a different sort of class where they're struggling. It's the Baltimore and Washington and Philly where, I don't know, at Detroit, and I know they won last week, so they're going to be fine and make the playoffs, but they're not the same Detroit. It'll be fascinating, the playoffs this year, without the Jets, of course.
What else is new? Addison checks in. Last 2 times teams traded up to number 1 to get a QB was Goff and Bryce Young. Is Mendoza worth those kind of deals? Well, I don't think he's worth the Bryce Young deal because Bryce Young, like that, has not aged well what Carolina gave up to take him. But I also don't think it would cost as much as what that trade was. Remember, Carolina moved up from 9-1 to get Young.
Yeah.
The Jets, I don't think would be at 9. I think if they finish 3-14, they would be anywhere from 3-5. It would cost a lot less to make that kind of deal. But if you believe Fernando Mendoza is a franchise quarterback, the answer is yes, because if you're right, nobody cares. That's ultimately what it comes down to. We might not like it, but if Muji and Glenn believe in the kid, they're going to do it in all likelihood.
Yeah, you can't argue with that, but here's the other factor too. What kind of GM, what kind of philosophy does Glenn and Muji abide by? In other words, are they okay with selling the farm? Or are they less prone to do so? We don't have history to go on, so we just be speculating. If we look at this past season, okay, we know what Glenn and Muji did at quarterback. Was it all their decision? I have no idea. But this is what they did. They went with Fields. They tried to ride that quarterback with legs wave. You could see it. You could understand it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in terms of that type of offense, just falling apart league-wide this year. And then they sold off Sauce and Quincy in those deals. So, are they more of the Jimmy Johnson old school mindset where they're going to take it slow and steady? Or will they make a move in terms of moving up in a big splash? Or is it case by case? I think obviously it's going to be a mixture of everything for everybody, but which side do they fall on, generally speaking, I think is something we have to consider.
You look at what the Goff trade entailed, by the way, just looking back on it from 2016. The terms were Rams, first-round pick they traded to Tennessee, 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, and then a first-round pick the following year, and another third-round pick. And that was the move from 15-1. So I don't think it would move. Yeah, I don't think it would cost that. But let's say it did. I mean, honestly, the Jets would still have in that scenario, Robbie, 2 seconds, and they still would have 2 first-round picks in 2027. They'd have 2 seconds this year. They would also have, well, I guess it's tough to do this apples to apples here because would one of the first-round picks maybe be the Colts pick, thus preserving the 3 first in 2027? Again, Addison, I think the big thing is the Jets having that Colts pick and it being in the top 15.
It's massive.
It's huge because I don't think you necessarily would have to even touch the 27 first if you are able to trade the Colts pick. Like, I think the Jets could offer teams, hey, we'll give you one of our picks in 27 or we'll give you the Colts pick. We're not going to give you both. It's one or the other.
Whether you're anti-tank or not, whether you scream at other Jets fans or not, you got to acknowledge where the Colts finish is massive.
Yep.
It's beyond massive. So, yeah, it's a good point. And, kudos to the personnel department for making that trade. You get credit also if the team that is really good you trade with falls apart. Some of it is luck for sure, but you get that credit. And right now it's looking like roses.
Colts losing out would be gigantic because, again, you look at recent history, they finish 8-9. That's anywhere from like 12 to 15-ish on the draft chart. Right now it's 18. The Jets own 7 and 18, and the Jets finished 3-14, and the Colts finished 8-9. I think we're probably talking about maybe like 4 and 14, 3 and 15, somewhere in that range, which is huge.
Yeah, and you keep everything moving forward. Listen, trading up for a quarterback, like the odds are very likely that it won't cripple. It just won't hurt you. It won't kill you long term. You could get it done. You have the ammo. What it's going to come down to is the scouting. It's going to come down to the personnel talent evaluation,
Right.
and then sticking to your guns. There is going to be, and the Jets know this, there's going to be an outpouring of emotion, one way, and that's going to be try to get the quarterback. Mendoza is the current symbol of hope. Previously, it was Rodgers. After Rodgers, it was Glenn. Now, because of the season went by the wayside and the trades were made, now it's Mendoza. So we'll see what happens, but we gotta remember that, because it is tough for organizations if they really feel a guy, ranked 3 or 4 is better or just as good, has a chance to be just as good. It's still hard to make that move and stick to your guns. We'll see if they have it in them.
Black Gypsy, thank you, Mr. Gypsy. He gifted a channel membership. Entering the raffle, Fox Sports Talk checks in. Feel better. Thank you, Fox. If Dante Moore comes out, we should target him. I like Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza. So, yeah, I'm certainly open to that. I'm not going to sit here and say it has to be Mendoza. Yeah, I'm telling you, if Dante Moore looks great in the playoffs here for Oregon, every Jet fan's going to want him too. It's like we're very prisoner of the moment this time of year.
Yes. But listen, as long as we're aware of it, there's no problem with it. Everyone needs a symbol of hope. Like it's mandatory, especially when you're a fan of the Jets. It's just human nature. So there's nothing wrong with it. But it's reality. And, in 2 months from now, it might be a completely different guy. What if Arch Manning unexpectedly declares? I don't see him leapfrogging, but crazier things have happened. So based on what I've seen so far, the very limited tape, I do have Simpson ahead of Mendoza still, even after that poor performance. But I admit, I've not seen enough of Moore. I don't even want to comment on him. It would be doing a major disservice. We'll see. More to come on that.
Brian says the day will come. Home playoff game. Well, we've only been waiting over 20 years.
Think about the environment. Just the sounds. Think about it. It would be, and MetLife is far different than the Meadowlands, the old Meadowlands. We know this. It gets loud at MetLife, no question. There have been moments in the past. It's a little harder to make it loud, but that home playoff game, I don't think it'll take much to break records in terms of decibels. It'll be ridiculous.
I mean, if you thought the Rodgers debut game was insane, and that was the best environment I've been in for any of my team's games, right? Playoffs or not.
Yeah.
A Jet home playoff game, meaning they won the AFC East for the first time in over 20 years. Oh my God.
So that beats out any of the Isles playoff Tavares games?
Yeah, I mean, it beats out. I went to every Nick home playoff game the last 2 years.
Oh, the Knicks too. Yeah. Well, yeah. See, the new Garden vibe compared to the old Garden vibe is very different. It's
beats
still
out the Yankees in the playoffs the last few years. I went to
Yankees are very different too. Like if you watch those old 90s Yankees videos, dude, you thought when Mattingly hit the home run after Sierra, I thought the building was going to collapse on itself. And the Girardi triple in 96, I thought Yankee Stadium was gone. That's how loud it was. But yeah, the MetLife scene would be something. I'll tell you that.
Austrian Jet fan in the house. He gifted a membership. He's in the raffle. Super chat from Jesus Jerry. Temperature gauge on Kyler Murray and the Jets. The only way I would take Murray is if he's cut and it costs you nothing and you're still drafting a rookie and Murray's competing with that guy for the job. I don't want Kyler Murray as like, all right, we got our quarterback. We're skipping on quarterback in 26. I only want Murray if he's the Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston to what the Giants situation was a year ago.
Wholeheartedly agree. And that brings up a random point, but connected. Washington's had a bad year, right? And we know Glenn's going nowhere, but polling Jets fans, and it's coming off a loss, so it's unfair. It's week to week. Would the Jets, would over 50% of the Jets fan base swap out Glenn for Kingsbury if that were a reality? I wonder.
I think so. I mean, he's an offensive coach, and you're going to draft a quarterback.
Okay, yeah, it's a question I have. It just popped in my head because of Murray, and I agree. You can't rely on Murray. You can't rely on AVT. You can't rely on a lot of guys in terms of moving forward. Murray definitely falls into that class.
Yeah, look, Kyler Murray. I mean, I don't think he's great, but what is he, 28? So there's some upside at least.
Yeah.
If it didn't cost you anything, right? If he's just available because they cut him, like I guess I'm somewhat interested almost by default because there's not a whole lot of good options. But like me bringing in Kyler Murray would not stop me at all from still wanting to get Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore.
The goal, the top tier goal is draft your franchise guy, grab a veteran, and hope Brady Cook plays well enough the rest of the year where you could have him as your third and you feel good about it.
Kyler Murray, Brady Cook, and Fernando Mendoza, your quarterback room going in the next year.
That's the top tier goal. Now, if Cook falls on his face, then you move on and you look for another guy. Austrian
Jet fan wants to know your top QB bridge option at this point.
Oh man, that is so. Austrian Jets fan. By the way, Jet X has been getting so much traffic from Germany. And I'm looking at it. I'm trying to be the cybersecurity guy, which takes up all of my freaking time. I just wish I could create content. All this Germany traffic is malicious bots and requests. Austrian Jets fan, help me out, brother. Tell your Germany people to stop it. It's enough. My top bridge QB option, I don't know if I have one. I got to be honest. Jake, what about you? Do you have a firm guy right now?
For the bridge spot? Yeah. It's not great, man. I mean, Gardner Minshew, Marcus Mariota, bring Tyrod back, and still draft a quarterback. I want them to go all in on getting Mendoza or more. I'm not waiting till 27. I'm not playing we'll get our bridge for a year.
Both years. Yeah.
Consider
it. Yeah. Do it. Absolutely.
Like if whoever they take, if that guy is horrific and you're in range to get another quarterback in 27, why am I stopping there? Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the list. Zach Wilson's a free agent, right?
No. Yeah. He looked great on Sunday.
I was hoping McDaniel would just let him throw the ball once. I just wanted to see one drop back. Trey Lance, Carson Wentz. Remember the Goff Wentz draft? Goff went number 1. After that rookie year and going into the second year, maybe even going into the third year, everyone thought Wentz was better. And suddenly, have things switch on a dime in this league.
Wentz hasn't been right since he had the ACL injury.
Yes, that little, I don't know if it was a sneak, but he kind of dove to the right side of the line and injured his knee. Sam Howell, my God, he had one season for Washington a few years ago. There aren't many options out there. You're right, man. There's not much.
That's why you got to get the quarterback this offseason. That's it.
Yeah. It's hard for me to ever agree with anyone who says just bypass on quarterback in this draft. There's no way. Now, is there a world where you bypass in the first round? I would grant them that, yes, but they better be right and they better have a conviction that they did their homework in the second round or whatever it may be.
Jay Petito, love the show and the fan base. Hate the owner. Go Jets. Best fans in sports.
And it's
Jet fan.
You're too subtle. You got to tell us what you're thinking.
Bino, if they think Mendoza is that guy and ends up being what they expect, then whatever they trade to get him won't really matter if they get the QB. Bingo.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
It's only a problem if you draft the bust. That's
agreed. And you just get at that point, you just got to worry about who's developing him, who's calling the plays,
right.
Who is the
Charles London, quarterback coach. Why?
I think one of the biggest factors in today's NFL, and it's much more a factor today than it used to be decades ago. It only started in the early 90s, late 80s, I think early 90s, is the voice in the helmet on the offensive and defensive side didn't start till a couple decades ago. That voice in the helmet for the quarterback is so damn important. You could see it with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Sometimes it works against you if you're too informative. Sometimes it helps. It's such a major factor. And can Engstrand be that guy? It is a major question.
Gator wants to know, how about Derek Carr as a possible bridge option if you wanted to come out of retirement?
Oh, dude, I was going to ask, where is he? I didn't even realize he was retired. I got to be honest. I forgot.
Hey, Phillip Rivers is coming out of retirement to maybe play for the Colts.
I'll be rooting for, if that happens. Well, I shouldn't say that. Jets want the Colts to lose, but
it's a shame that we need the Colts to lose. Because it'd be an awesome story if Phillip Rivers at 44 years old, 5 years retired, leads the Colts to the playoffs.
Yes, I would love to see Rivers do well, but unfortunately, can't do it.
Let's see. Super Chat's cut the line, which is why we're going to this one next from the big fella. Would you trade our first this year and next and the Colts second this year to trade up? I would. Mendoza's our guy and the quarterback BS. So Jets first this year and next and the Colts extra second rounder. Well, it's not. We don't have the Colts second rounder, big fella. We have the Cowboys second rounder. So I'll edit your Super Chat too. Cowboys second and our 2 picks this year. First and next.
So he's talking about four picks total.
He would say our first this year. Okay, so let's say it's pick 5 and next. So the Jets first next year. They still would have 2 in 2027, right? They still have the Cowboys and the Colts pick. Okay. And then a second this year. So then if I made that deal, I would still have the Colts pick, which is in the top 15.
Yep.
And I would still have 1 second round pick. And then I would have 2. I would do that. Yeah. Because what I would do in that scenario, I'll take the Colts pick, Robbie, try and find a trade partner, move back, recoup some assets I just gave up so it all evens out.
So Jets first this year or next year? Cowboys first next year, correct?
It would be the Jets first next year. I'm editing his Super Chat on the fly because the Jets don't own the Colts second rounder in 2027. They own the
first this year and next. And the
Colts. We wrote the Colts second this year, but we own the Cowboys second this year. We don't own the Colts second this year.
It all depends. It all depends on where the pick is for the Jets. And let's put it this way. Would I sell the farm as is for Mendoza at 1? I'm not there yet. I probably lean no. And I'm talking sell the farm, not specifically that deal. I could get there, but I'd say no right now in terms of selling the farm for that guy. I just don't feel 100% comfortable that he's can't miss sell the farm type.
PBM checks in. Sabo, I do this for a living. You can configure your firewall to block all that traffic, especially IOCs from your first hack, indicators of compromise.
Dude, purple belt. I have over 30 firewall rules active right now. You think you hear that and you say, holy crap, that is way over optimized, but they're actually, it's been constructed over a year's time in a way where it works very, very well. Yeah. We challenge all international traffic to begin with. And then challenge all suspicious user agents, empty headers, Python, Scrappy. So it's there, but still this Germany, man, God, Germany doesn't stop. It's absurd. It kills me. It kills me, Jake, every day.
By the way, the big fella did clarify. When people are proposing trades, please try and be as concise as possible because it's hard to
do R1 or year and then R1 or whatever. Like that's the best way to do it.
He summed it up easy here. Jets first this year, next, and the Cowboys second. I would do that. Yes, because that means I'm swapping my first and 1 additional first of my 3.
Additional first.
And the Cowboys second this year. So I still would have Colts pick and I still would have my own second round pick. So I'm still having a first and second round pick this year, and I'm getting Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore. So
I mean that would probably, I don't have the chart in front of me, but that would probably put you down more closer to 10, right? Picking as opposed to in the top 5. And then I know first rounder next year is very different from first rounder this year. I get it.
Yeah, and honestly, that'd be great. And then I still have the Colts pick to get a player that could help my team in 2026 this season.
Yeah, I'm not dead set against it. Not by a long shot. I think I'd rather. I'm not against it. It's the player I'm going for. That's what I'm hung up on.
It comes down to the player. If you believe, you got to do it. Jesus Jerry, does Aaron Glenn get a 3rd year after drafting a quarterback in 2026 and nil improvement by the team? It will depend what it looks like, right? Like if they're horrific in 2026, he's not guaranteed 2027. I do think he's more likely to get a 3rd year if they have a young quarterback that goes through the growing pains next year, and then he sells to ownership, hey, we still have all these picks. We have a ton of salary cap space. Now's the year we put it all together. Year 3 of our program, year 2 of our young signal caller. Playoff drought ends in 2027. I think that's the sales pitch.
Yeah, a lot of it's going to be context. A lot of it's going to be, what it looks like. It's definitely a realistic scenario. There's no question about it because you're already up against it with a rookie quarterback. Let's be real. I mean, you can make the playoffs. You can have successful seasons. We see it all the time. But your coaching has to be on point. It has to be. You have to have the right young quarterback with the right coaching and the right scheme. And there has been no evidence to suggest that they can get that done.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Dylan Terriman just sent me this. They're calling my performance right now, Mr. Sabo, the flu stream.
Hey, listen, you're Jordan. I'm Scotty. It's 97. We're in Utah.
Some bad pizza the night before.
We're starting the fourth quarter right now. Let's go.
Ralphie in the house. Shout out to Ralphie Rocks checking in. What if they trade for a potential starter like Mac Jones or Tanner McKee and use the draft to add talent around them? I'm not in favor of that, but it is certainly a possibility.
I mean, listen, you could do that and still draft a quarterback too.
What am I giving up, by the way, for Mac Jones or Tanner McKee?
Yeah.
Jonathan Vilma said a first rounder for Mac Jones. I almost spit out my drink watching that last week.
What? When did he say this?
On the broadcast for Jets Falcons.
Oh dear. I must have been at the stadium. I did. Yeah, that's rough. I don't think a comment is even needed. That's brutal.
Excuse me, I was just coughing up a lung.
You're excused.
Thank you. Pickle Mutt. Jets will flood the Jags on Sunday. Will they?
Hey, I'll be here next Tuesday if it does happen. Brady Cook, 4 touchdowns.
Your guy.
225 yards. He'll throw a pick. The one thing I'll say about Cook, he came in, he was overwhelmed, mind racing, losing his mind. He couldn't settle down. But while he was going through that, he was still doing everything he needed to do as a quarterback. Pre-snap. Some of the line calls were rough, and you got to put that on the quarterback first and foremost. That's why the pressure was getting in. But he rebounded, and I said this to, I think it was Faria next to me. I said, the one thing I want to, I'd rather see him throw a pick or 2 or even 3 as opposed to going into a shell. I need to see the young quarterback have no fear. The guy who goes into a shell is much worse off than the guy who has no fear. I could work with the guy who has no fear. That shows me something. That shows me moxie. He's willing to take chances. He's willing to make mistakes and improve. The guy who goes into a shell, we've seen it quite often. Zach Wilson, that's something you can't overcome.
Ugh. Oh, the pain.
Yeah.
You got time for a call or two, Mr. Sabo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up today, in the Holy Land is Jason in Jerusalem. Hello, Jason.
Hey guys, how you doing?
JJ.
So, I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to victories towards the end of the year, with one exception. If Brady Cook goes on Mike White out in Jacksonville, then that would be awesome.
Yes. Agreed. But at the same time, Jets fans have to make a promise to themselves. Like I might be higher on Cook than most, but that doesn't mean like even if he goes all Mike White and tears it up, I even trust him to be the backup next year. It's a far leap. So we have to make a promise to ourselves that no matter what he does, you can't go crazy and think, oh, he's the future, he's the guy. That just can't happen. You know what I mean?
I'd rather them do that against one of their division opponents left than the Jaguars,
fair. Fair.
Agreed.
If it's going to happen. Because I'd rather them just finish 3-14, but if they are going to win a game, I'd rather it be one of the games against the AFC East teams.
And also, just the nature of this Jets offense, the way it was constructed, they're up against it and hampered with Cook, with Tyrod in there because they built this whole thing for Fields specifically. It is a different offense that doesn't have much flexibility. They're getting better and working on it week to week. You see more concepts, but that hampers you, number one. And number two, they're a running team. So I wouldn't expect all Mike White stuff. Like a good Brady Cook game will be modest at the height, to be honest.
But I would want them to come out throwing, knowing that they're going to put 8 in the box and just challenge the receivers to win and catch the damn ball.
Yeah, there was some drops, but you got to overcome. If you're a quarterback worth his salt, you got to overcome it. You got to lead your guys. The point of the quarterback position is to score points. And if your guy drops it, you get him going, you get him ready for the next play, and you set it up. You get it going. You get it done.
I was just looking this week today in Jets history. I don't know if you guys ever heard this story. I just learned this myself.
Yeah.
1979. Do you know what happened today in Jets history?
Not off the top of my
A
head.
fan was killed at Chase Stadium
Yes.
during the halftime show.
Did he fall?
By
He
a
fell? Did
flying-
he fall?
No, a flying lawnmower hit him in his head.
Well, that's depressing.
You messing with me?
No, you check it out on Snopes. They had a flying air show of like remote controlled planes and things like that, and they were
Yeah.
shaped to different things. And one of them was a lawnmower, and the guy lost control of it, and two fans sitting behind the Patriots bench on the third base side of Shea Stadium were hit in the head. One of whom died of his injuries.
John Bowen died after being struck in the head by a radio-controlled model airplane. I remember a fan dying, but I thought he fell or something. And maybe it's a different incident. That's nuts. That is wild. Who'd they play?
Patriots.
Wow.
John Bowen from New Hampshire, and also hit a guy from Massachusetts.
So New Englanders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There it is.
And yeah, I saw that today. I was shocked. I'd never heard of that before in my life.
The flying lawnmower game. I was completely unaware of this as well.
Wow. They were competitive, huh?
No, they avenged that game. No, they won the lawnmower game. It was the previous game they avenged.
They avenged a 56-3 loss from week 2.
Yeah. Right.
Probably just as bad as that Monday night game they had in during Rex's era.
Jim Leonard missing. Yeah. That season. I know 2010 was a lot better. Their team was much better, the 11-win team, but there were a lot of doubts when Leonard went down, and they lost to New England on Monday night. Yeah, and speaking of the 70s, no one thought it would ever get as bad as the 70s, and here we are. It has to be worse. 15 years now.
Oh, this is way worse.
Yeah.
And if you're mentioning the QB trades, you got to mention the RG3 trade. In terms of what somebody gave, they gave up 3 number ones to move up from 6 to 2.
Yeah, they gave up a ton. I mean, it wasn't Mike Ditka going after Ricky Williams, but it was a lot. Yeah, and they drafted Kirk Cousins on top of it.
Right, and the crazy part of the Ditka one is that they went to the Bengals with that, and they said, "No, thank you. We'll take Akili Smith."
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Akili Smith. He was rough. Achilles was rough.
When a team wants their quarterback, they're not trading anybody for him. That's why it doesn't matter where. If Vegas gets the one, if Cleveland gets the one, they're not trading out. And it could even be that the Giants' new owner, new GM, and new coach. I don't know if Joe Shine is going to stay, but obviously new head coach. They could look at Jackson Dart and say, "Let's trade him." You know, if we don't.
I doubt it. I know you're trying to cover all your bases, but Dart in that slot. I mean, he's still a first rounder, so you get the option on him. That slot is a little cheaper, which is good. And I think he's shown enough. Now, there's no guarantee that Dart becomes a star. I mean, not even close, but I think it's pretty safe. The other guys, I agree.
You like the guy who's the number one, and you think you could trade Dart for a late 1 or a 2. And also, if you're afraid of his concussions and his playing style, not going out of bounds and not sliding, sell while he's high.
Yeah, true. But here's the other side. You keep Dart, cheaper salary, still have the option, and you can get more in return for the top pick.
They're not trading Dart. Come on.
Yeah, like the bundle you'll get back for trading that top pick, keeping Dart, is even more riches. So
I mean, Arizona kept it and went for Murray over Rosen. It's not apples to apples there.
Yeah, but Rosen was horrific. That's why. Dart has actually played well, and is a big reason why the job is attractive for people.
And there was a new regime coming in too. Yeah,
I know they're only going to hire a regime that likes them.
Yeah, I know Daboll's gone, but is I guess Shane's staying, right? It's from all we know. So
I guess it's more of a possibility if Shane ends up getting fired, but they're not going to get rid of Dart, who's already been a hit, for an unknown with the possibility of taking more Mendoza. Like, I just don't see it. Also, the Giants are going to win a couple games here. I don't think they're going to finish number 1.
Yeah, and the other thing is too that lends credence to what he's saying is Dart was a Daboll guy, not a Shane guy. But I still Agree with you. There's no way. Once you find a guy that proves his worth, like Dart has, you hold on to him for dear life.
I guess it all depends on who they get as a head coach, unless you're going to say that they're specifically going to hire somebody who wants to keep him.
Yeah, I'd worry more about the Browns and what was the other team you said? Browns and who?
Browns and the Raiders.
Yeah, I'd worry about those guys.
Hopefully, Shador keeps playing well. I mean, I know they lost, but he had a good statistical game against Tennessee on Sunday.
Yeah, and maybe Brady comes out of retirement and suits it up for the Raiders. You know.
Yep. Wouldn't that be something? All right, Mr. Sabo, I appreciate you joining us.
You got it. Hey, hang in there. Did you take some vitamin C today?
I'm taking everything: medicine, vitamin C, all of it, steroids,
everything,
HGH.
Everything constitutes a lot, my friend. You know, give me a call when you start
Horse
seeing
tranquilizer.
You got a constitution on you, my
That's
friend.
right.
You know, jeez. All right. Hey, I'll catch you guys later.
Robby Sabo, co-founder of JetX. Check out the Underdog podcast with him and Wayne Corbett. We are going to get to more of your calls here. We have the raffle as well. Yes, Eli also on some deer antler spray. What we need to do, though, is take a short break, and then we'll come back and then get to your remaining calls. And we have a raffle. Remember to enter. We're going to give away a signed Namath helmet, Mango football, and Mosley helmet at the end of today's stream. I will be back for your calls and the remainder of our show before said raffle, right after I play this short clip. Enjoy.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
Whoa! Anyway, about little Chucky, I know the guy has problems, okay? He needs to check up on his language, number one. He can apologize all he wants, okay? My apology is this, Gorman. Get a job.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
I've been a Jets fan all my life, and I put up through good times and, a few good times and a lot of bad times. So I really don't appreciate guys that just pick up and leave and become Colts fans, who, by the way, were our opponents in Super Bowl III that we beat.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
You know what? He's got to grow up. There's a point in time in a man's life he's got to grow up and use the proper language, okay? So don't speak to me in that manner. That doesn't bother me as much as you being jobless and being a fraud fan and trying to come back and being a Colts fan.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger. I could care less what Dave Brigger said. He's done nothing but say negative comments about me for months. He's been bitching, complaining about me not having a job. So I don't need this bullshit right now.
Why did you block the big fella?
That's between him and me.
Hold on a second. When you got catfished live on the air in Asmaniac Madness,
I know what he did.
He spent $200 of that $800 that we gave you. Unblock him immediately. That's ridiculous. He had your back at your lowest moment in the show.
But there's another part of him that I don't like.
Oh, he left. He just left. You're a coward, Gorman. How dare you?
Hello? People want me to pack my bags and leave. Well, I'm sorry. This is America, and I'm staying right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag. You're damn right.
What don't you like about me?
I'd rather not discuss this in the public. I'd rather discuss it on Discord.
I bust balls and stuff like that, but I've always tried to help you, no matter what.
I appreciate that. It's not because I don't like you.
I'm a big boy. I can take it. So
Gator says that you're a douche-faced, chicken soup eating, jobless trader with a bad haircut. Now, this would be an example of Gator trolling you because he's just messing with you. Don't take this seriously.
We all joke around in this thing, and I've always tried to help you, and I'm trying to help you now.
Unblock him, Charles.
I'll do it right now.
He has subscribed and unsubscribed to my channel like 4 times in the last 2 months.
Wow.
I'll get an alert, I'll see the name, new subscriber. Oh, Charles Gorman. That's interesting. I thought me and Charles were friends. Oh.
I gotta do some soul searching. One of the people said I need to do some soul searching.
J-O-B, job.
All right, we're back. Some baseball news during that break. Just getting caught up on it here. Edwin Diaz to the Los Angeles Dodgers. So arguably the best closer in Mets history is gone. And Devin Williams is now the Mets closer. Good luck with that, Met fans. See, if you're going to sign Devin Williams and he's the setup guy, I thought it was an overpay, but I get it. And I know David Stearns knows him from Milwaukee. But losing Edwin Diaz is a big blow for the Mets. And I'm curious what the money is because that's not reported yet. I know the Mets apparently didn't want to go to a 5th year. I guess the Dodgers did. So we'll see. And then the other baseball signing that happened 8 minutes ago, Kyle Schwarber re-signing with the Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal, according to Jeff Passan. So 2 big baseball signings as the winter meetings are in full swing right now. Poor Beningo, he's probably furious. So, man, the Dodgers just, the rich get richer. All right. Taylor writes in. A week ago, we had evidence AG was turning the team around, and now y'all forgot about that after one bad game. Taylor, it's not just one bad game, though, right? Like, again, it's not that they lost, it's how they lost. You just got embarrassed by a 5-7 team. The Miami Dolphins shouldn't come into your building and destroy you. Like, that shouldn't happen. And the Jets are likely going to finish 0-6 against the AFC East now. They started 0-7. I thought there was some real improvement the last couple of weeks before Sunday, but that's a bad loss. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that you believe Aaron Glenn's this great coach still. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's terrible, but I have legit concerns about him. That's for sure. Yo, Holmes, Mets are on the phone with John Franco as we speak. JD says, got to go with the Alka-Seltzer plus, Jake. No horse pills. Maybe I do. All right, open phone lines for those of you who want in. We had a bunch of you on hold. Alex and DC, Black Gypsy, and I was going to come to you guys, but you both dropped off. So if you're still out there and want in, now is the time. If not, I will get to the Asmaniac raffle because I am sick, and if no one calls in, then I have to talk more, and I don't want to talk. We need calls, people. Super chat from Cactus Johnny. Mets finally get out from under the rock of having the Wilpons as an owner, only to hire another Wilpon as the president of baseball operations, DFA Stearns. Let's see what the Mets do, right? Like, there's other good relievers that are out there, and they need to sign one of them. But money should never be an issue for the Mets when Steve Cohen's your owner. That's why I'm curious to see what the money is that Diaz and the Dodgers just agreed to. But there's other good relief pitchers that are out there. Chuck Wagon writes in, Jake, you need rest first before callers. Rest up. Oh, we'll be resting up, Chuck Wagon. Don't you worry. Right now, though, let's get to some of your outstanding calls, shall we? First up today on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is... Hello, Beats. Beast. Beast.
That is an ugly situation right there. Pretty ugly. That is the worst ugly situation I've ever saw in life. Well, unfortunately, that's okay. Where are we going today? We're going to Menards. Tomorrow, we got an Arctic blast coming, and we're preparing for ugly weather. So, hey, there's an old saying. If you're not prepared, then you know what? You're either in or you're out. So either put up or you shut up. Now, we're waiting for this bus. We're getting ready to get out of here. And don't ask. I caught myself a little sausage and biscuit. So, hey, we're ready for action. But come Sunday, we're gonna get back on our horse and tell our boys, finish these 4 games. Please. That's all I ask. It's not hard. I mean, Jesus, put your big boy pants on, lace your goddamn boots up, get your ass in gear, man some balls up, and suck it up. No more crying, no more whining. Finish these 4 games and do your job. Do it now. Get it done and over with. It ain't hard. It's as easy as taking a shower in the morning. And so what if you're gonna get banged up? We'll have everything ready for you at all costs. It's because we care for our players.
Did you take a shower this morning, Beast?
Hey, always, always, always. And right now it's 32 degrees, but with the wind up at 15, it feels like it's 22 out here. But that's okay, because you know what? Cold weather. Hey, let me just say this. I've been through hell like this before. Both New York and New Jersey. I know what a cold weather feels like. It ain't no walk in the park. You got to be 3 times tough, 3 times prepared, and better be ready for a fight. Because if you're not ready for a fight, you're not ready for nothing, except for maybe being down in the dumps. Now, you take care of yourself. have some more chicken soup. Anna, go get some pozole. That's some good Mexican soup. That will work. Believe me, I've had it before. I know what it feels like, and I know how good it is. Trust me, you'll love it. And believe me, let me say these. You're gonna thank me tomorrow when you try it. All right, now I see my bus within about a good 0.2 feet. No problem. All right, now we got the cops here. They usual shit. Nothing new and fancy.
What's
And
happening over there, Beast? Is there an accident?
Well, yeah, an ugly one. The guy did a 360 on one of the big 18-wheelers. Ooh. Let me show you. Look at the accident right there. See that? Hello, baby.
Well, I just see a police car.
No. Go up a little closer. Here we go. We're going to walk up here.
Okay.
Now, do you see it? Now, do you see it, Jake? Look how ugly that looks. That's what I call ugly. Woo! And that wind is going to start kicking my ass today. Woo! Doctor. Woo. And I'll tell you, this ain't no walk in the park. This thing. Hey. No pain, no game. Either suck it up or get off the court. That's what we all say in the real world. Suck it up or get off the court. Can't take it. Get out. Oh, you still can. Or, in the words of the great Harry Truman, as he once said, hey, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen.
Oh, shit. All right, we'll check back in with Beasts, potentially. I don't know what exactly is going on there. On that note, let's get to more of your calls right now. On the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man where before we bring him on, we issue a warning.
Warning, warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning, Allen alert. Hide the children.
So I wasn't going to call in until I saw that the big fella who I respect said that he'd be willing to trade a 1 in 27 in the move up to go get Mendoza. Did he said that, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Did he write that?
He said, would you trade our first this year and next and the Colts second? And then we went through it. I said, we don't have the Colts second. We have the Cowboys second. And then I believe he clarified that the offer was our first this year, a 1 next year, and a second, I think it was this year. So
would you
first
do
this
that?
year? Well, I'm keeping the Colts pick, so I'd be open to it. I'm still having a first round pick.
If the one, I'm the Colt this year, I'm fine with that. The 1 next year, you would trade a 1 next year and a move up?
Where am I moving up from?
Let's say they ask for our first next year.
Okay, so the Jet first next year, our first, obviously. Where am I trading up from? Like so this year, I'm saying. Where did the Jets finish?
Let's say you're moving up from 4 to 1.
Okay.
And they want our first next year, as well as the first this year, as well as a second this year. So you would trade our first next year and a move up?
Yeah, I probably would be open to it. I'm still keeping the Colts first round pick.
Okay. I can understand. What I can understand is
I like Mendoza. So if they
I understand. I can understand if you like Mendoza trading the Colt first this year in the draft that isn't as good as next year. The only problem I have is if you're going to trade a first next year, that's scary territory for me. I think
we still would have 2 first round picks though in 2027.
I know, but I'm talking about,
and I'm still keeping the Colts pick this year. So I still would have, if we did this hypothetical trade, Alan, we still would have a first round pick in 2026. It'd be the Colts pick. Let's say it's pick 15. We still would have 1 second round pick this year. So we're still having our usual like allotment of picks, and we would still have 2 more first rounders in a loaded draft class in 27. But I'm getting my quarterback I believe in. So like if they like Mendoza, I think you got to do it.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering because I can understand if you want to trade a second first, I'd be more, and I don't, but if you're open to trading a second first, I would rather trade the Colt pick this year than any of the ones next year.
So your biggest priority is retaining the 3 1s in 2027.
Yes, I think that's more important than anything. to retain the 3 wins. I think so. And one other comment. Again, I've been a big proponent of the Jets going after a Tanner McKee, just to give him an opportunity. He's going into year 4 next year, final year of his contract. But there's something wrong with the Eagle offense to the point where I just don't think the quarterback and the receivers are on even in the same ballpark. And what I watched yesterday was a quarterback implode in big spots. So I worry in a sense that they will try to keep McKee in a sense to give him an opportunity to compete for the job. I know that they gave
that really worries you. Who cares?
It does, because that's a guy I think that makes a lot of sense for the Jets.
I'm not worried if the Jets don't end up with Tanner McKee. I don't think.
But that's a guy I think that makes more sense than a lot of the people out there that they've been talking about.
I don't think there's any answer that makes sense. The only answer I think is trading or just sticking and picking, getting one of these quarterbacks in the first round.
But if you're going to stick and pick and going to get Mendoza, I assume you believe that he should sit half the season.
If he's ready to play, I mean, I don't think you want him to play right away, but it could be a situation where he's just clearly ready, like Dart was, and he plays sooner than we think.
But the problem is,
weren't you the guy, by the way, who said that Matthew Schaefer should go to college? He shouldn't play.
I thought he should have played 10 games,
and he was ready. He's like the greatest 18-year-old we've seen. So
yeah, I'm not going to compare Matthew Schaefer to Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, but my point is still the same. That sometimes the guy's just ready, and if he's ready, you play him.
I got it, but the problem with that point is I have no idea who would be the bridge. I don't think there's anybody on this. You see, people are like, I'll bring back Tyrod. Again, I'm done. He should retire.
Not as the only option. Like Tyrod and someone else. Minimum. So
like, would you bring in a Tyrod and bring in a Flacco as a bridge?
Minshew?
But the problem is, if you're going to bring in a Mendoza, you want a guy who has similar traits, and I don't think Minshew has any of the similar traits to Mendoza.
Garoppolo does.
What?
Like Jimmy G, if you want like a drop
Jimmy
back.
G walks down the street and he falls down, he's out half the year.
Again, there's no real good options out there.
You see, I would actually, even though I don't know how much he has left, I thought he played somewhat well when he was in Cincinnati. I would bring in Flacco for 1 year because they have the same build. They're both tall quarterbacks who are pocket passers.
I would Geno Smith.
You want that contract?
They cut him. I don't have to worry about that.
You think Geno Smith ever wants to come back to the Jets?
I mean, if he gets a chance to play, does he have a choice?
I don't think he.
Why would he hate the Jets? It was 4 regimes ago.
I don't know if he'd ever want to come back here, but I would rather just give Flacco an opportunity to play a few games. So you see, I think he would be a better mentor to Mendoza than anybody has ever mentioned. Like Neil has mentioned Kyler Murray, which I think is laughable because I don't want Kyler Murray in the same state as Fernando Mendoza. And I'd rather have Flacco, who has experience, who has similar skill set in a sense than Mendoza, than anybody else. That's all I'm saying. I worry that there is no true bridge if you're going to go trade up for Mendoza.
Well, I think the reality is if they trade up to the number 1 spot, whether it's for Mendoza or for Moore, that rookie's going to play the vast majority of the games. Like maybe they don't play right away, but sooner rather than later, they're playing the most amount of games. It's just how it goes.
Yeah. I would rather have both those guys sit at least half the season. I think it's beneficial for both of them, especially Moore, who's 20 years old.
Moore, I think, probably needs to sit more than Mendoza does, who's older and has way more collegiate starts.
He does. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing Moore in the playoffs more than anybody because
you know how this works. If he plays really well, Jet fans are going to be infatuated with him.
That's why I'm looking forward to the Texas Tech game when they play him because that's the type
you think Moore is not coming out still, right?
I do not. No. I think he's staying in school. But I think that Texas Tech game will be quite a test against the defense that has 4 top 50 picks on the defensive line. And I think they'll be aggressive and they'll force him to make throws. And I think that's the type of game that will be one that the Jets will scout. Not the James Madison game because no one really cares. They'll beat him by 3 touchdowns. But I'm talking about the Texas Tech game. on January 1st. That will be the test for the Jet fans and the Jet scouts to look at him.
You want him to play well. If Ty Simpson can rebound and look good, you want that. You just want optionality. It helps the Jets.
You don't want Ty Simpson in the top 5. You don't. I understand. He's just not right. You see, that's a guy, if you draft
2 weeks ago, Connor Rogers liked him the best of any of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, but that's a guy who has to sit a year.
So we'll sit for so maybe he'd sit for half the year. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering because Big Fella said to trade one of the first in 27. And
I'm not as dead set on protecting those picks as you are. Because again, if I don't have to trade the Colts pick, I'm still able to get a really good player at pick 15 in this year's draft. And I still would have 2 first rounders in a loaded draft in 2027.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
You got it, Alan. I think there'd be some GMs who might actually prefer to deal one of the picks in 27 if they could use the Colts pick this year. Then I think if Muji were smart, he would do like the Howie Roseman, you trade out of pick 15 or wherever the Colts pick ends up being, and you accumulate some extra picks next year to recoup the first rounder that you had dealt to get Mendoza. We saw Atlanta, for example, trade a number 1 pick in this past year's draft to go and get Pierce, the edge rusher. Could the Jets be the team that is able to flip pick 15 to get another 1 in 2027? Or maybe they get an extra 2 this year, so then you'd have maybe 3 second rounders this year, or if you had to use one of those second rounders. I don't know. Frank says Diaz got 3 years and $69 million. Wow, it was only 3 years? Why didn't the Mets do that? How did the Mets not beat that? Diaz didn't even get a 4th year. I thought the whole holdup was, hey, if he's going to get 5 years, that would be the sticking point. He only got 3. And look, 3 years, $69 million is a ton of money. I get that, but you're the Mets. You're not owned by the Wilpons. 69 divided by 3. I'm bad at math, but I believe that's $23 million a year, right? AAV. Wow. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, time to say hello to a man who half this chat sometimes enjoys and other times despises. What will it be today?
This is not good news this morning. Diaz to the Dodgers. That's not good news.
For 3 years, too. I'm shocked. I thought it was going to be 5 years, and the Mets just didn't want to go there. But 3 years. I mean, why wouldn't you match that?
I don't even. It can't be the money. They have to think he shot, right? It was like DeGrom. When they let DeGrom go, it wasn't over the money because they gave the money to Scherzer, right? It wasn't about the money. They just didn't want to give him. Maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. If he gets hurt, 2 months into the season, we'll say, all right, good job. Just like DeGrom, right? Like we'll say, okay, that made sense. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a ton of money and it's only 3 years. I would have done it, but maybe they know something we don't. And then he goes to the Dodgers. I didn't even know the Dodgers were interested in him until last night. And then this morning it said they signed him. It's like, all right, there goes that. At least we have Devin Williams now. That's extraordinary.
Enjoy him.
Pete Alonso does. We'll probably lose Alonso too. So that's
now you better bring back Alonso. I mean, my God.
They were committed to winning. Like, do you think it's the money? Do you think they want to pay him? Do you think it's like we make the playoffs? I'm not spending on a loser. Like what? Like why wouldn't they? It's not that much money.
I don't know. I want to see what they do because they need to sign another big time reliever. Like Pete Fairbanks is out there. I know they met with him. Is he going to be the answer? I don't know.
All right. I did want to talk about the quarterback situation. Did Allen hang up?
He did.
Okay. When he says like there's no way he wants Kyler Murray in the same state as Mendoza or whoever, whatever. He's on the verge of losing his Texas card. Kyler Murray is the greatest Texas high school player ever, period. He's the beginning and the end of the conversation. It would be a blessing to have Kyler Murray here. That being said, I don't want to pay him his full contract because he's not very good. But if we could get Kyler Murray in here, that's a blessing. The other day, Alan, I don't know if you're old enough to remember the singer Selena. Alan goes, Selena's from Texas? I didn't know that.
That's bad. Come on.
She's considered the queen. She's called the queen of Tejano music. She was probably the most famous person in Texas for a 3 or 4 year span. She's from Texas.
No, yeah, I knew that.
Shout out, Jake. Yeah, she's from Corpus Christi. He's on the verge. I'm on the verge of pulling his Texas card, Alan. So if you're listening, come on.
That wasn't even the craziest take he had when he said that he's worried about the Eagles going with McKee over Jalen Hurts because then the Jets wouldn't be able to get Tanner McKee. I'm not losing sleep over not getting Tanner McKee, Alan. I'll be okay.
What is this thing with what? Okay.
Tanner McKee is the answer for the Jets. That's Alan's new thing.
All right. Can I? Well, look, I don't. Can I just address Boom's comment real quick about Kyler? Yeah. Because honestly, he'd probably be the best quarterback we've had since Chad Pennington. Real talk. Like I'm not saying that's much, but he's okay. Like he's got upside. He can make plays. He can extend plays. He's got a really pretty deep ball. Like Kyler Murray, he didn't live up to the number 1 pick. I think that's fair to say. But Kyler Murray isn't ass. He's not garbage. Like Kyler Murray's a decent quarterback, and we haven't had a decent quarterback in a very long time. And if Dylan said that they may be willing to throw in picks if you take his contract, if that's true, if they're just looking to get rid of him, you could do a lot worse than Kyler Murray, who is the greatest Texas high school quarterback of all time, which is to say he's the greatest high school player of all time. But I wanted to stay on the quarter. Jameis Winston would be perfect. Let's bring Jameis in. Does he have a 1 year deal or a 2 year deal? It was a 2 year deal, wasn't it? Winston?
Jameis Winston is under contract for another year with the Giants.
Yeah, you can scratch that. Look, you made a pretty compelling argument about trading up, the hypothetical trade to get Mendoza. I'm okay with it, but here, under one circumstance, and I would say this right to Muji, you screw this up, you're fired. I can't do this again with a miserable quarterback. So if we're trading up multiple first round picks, 2 1s and a 2, you better get this right. And if you don't get this right, you're fired. Sight unseen. Period. End of discussion. Understood? Because I can't do this again. Like it's that serious. You screw this up, I trade multiple first round picks. This better be a franchise changing quarterback, which is to say a top 10 quarterback in the league by the end of his second year. Like he better be on a Drake May progression.
Well, that's typically how it works. You get one shot at addressing the quarterback.
But he better not be Trevor Lawrence. He better not be mid. If you're trading up to get him, he better be a top 10 quarterback in the league. Otherwise, don't do it. Is that fair?
Top 10, top third. Like, yeah, I think he's got to be a top third of the league QB if you're gonna trade up and make the big investment in him.
Okay, are you confident that he's that good? Because I'm not.
I'm not confident in any of these guys. If Trevor Lawrence is not even that, and he was the perfect prospect, no one could tell me anyone is a lock to be good.
Okay, and
you got to take a swing. You got to take a swing.
So if you really like Mendoza, and I think Moore is going to go in the draft because I don't think Ty Simpson is going to go in the draft. Ty Simpson's been really bad the last couple of weeks.
Ever since the LSU game, he has not played that well.
Yeah, and so it's been 3-4 weeks now in a row where it's not been good. If he goes in the playoffs, and Oklahoma has a really good defense, I don't think he's going to look very good in that game. It's just at a certain point, like you have to. I understand there's upside in him, but you have to actually play good on the field, and he hasn't done that. So I think Simpson goes back. When Simpson goes back, there's really only one quarterback. So Dante Moore's going to. Well, I'm going to go in the draft because I'm going to get overdrafted. I'm going to get. I don't want. He doesn't think he's getting overdrafted. But he's going to get drafted high because there are really only 2 draftable quarterbacks in the first round. So he's good. I think Moore is actually going to go now because Simpson's not going to go. Does that make sense? Moore's going to go because Simpson isn't. Simpson's going to go back.
I don't think Moore. I don't think Moore deciding whether to go or not has anything to do with Simpson. I think it's based on if he's projected to be a top 10 pick or top 5, like most analysts have him. I think he's going to come out because learn from what happened with Drew Aller at Penn State. Like going back to school is a huge risk. If he has a bad year next year, gets hurt, he might never go that high again. And I mean, look at the contracts for top 5 picks. He's getting $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The money they make at college, the NIL money, it's nice. It's better when they used to make no money. It's a lot better than, $3 million or $2 million, whatever he made this year is a lot better than no million, but it ain't $50 million. Like it's a far cry from what they make in the NFL as a first round pick.
Right.
Zach Wilson sucks. Like he's still rich. It doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't matter that I suck. Still rich. Justin Fields still rich. And then the other thing is, you sound sick. The chicken noodle soup is good if it's bone broth. If it's the chicken noodle soup you buy off the store, it's usually loaded with sugar, and that's just going to make things worse. So if you are going to eat chicken noodle soup, which is kind of like, your mom's medicine, make sure it's bone broth and make sure it's not. Look at the ingredients is what I'm saying. Make sure it's not loaded with sugar because viruses, I don't know what you got. You know what you got? This is virus.
I have the Gary syndrome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's loaded with sugar. Viruses thrive in sugar. You're going to want to avoid that. And the chicken noodle soup, like from Campbell's chicken noodle soup, is only going to make it worse, not better. So I would avoid that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Well, next time you see Allen, send him condolences on the Jets potentially not being able to get Tanner McKee, all right?
What? Where does that go? So Kyler Murray's out, but Tanner McKee, that's the – I don't understand. What's the –
That's the guy.
Oh, I had a quick question for you. Off topic. Right now, who's a better quarterback? Sam Darnold or Drake May?
I think Drake May.
I kind of think so too. Like I would say that like Sam Darnold's got to win a big game, but Drake May hasn't won a big game either. I tend to agree with that. If you gave me 2 of them right now for next week, I'd probably take Drake May.
If you're doing a draft, I think Drake May would go before Sam Darnold.
Agreed. All right.
Anything else?
That's all I got, Jake.
Beautiful.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost like we planned this. Up next.
He thinks that Gorman needs to get a frickin' job. This cowboy hates to see as maniacs complain. What he call him, one punch Springer. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch Springer. The beast is on his ass. They call him one punch Springer. Has anyone seen Dean Mack? They call him one punch Springer. You only need one.
Jake, good morning.
Hello, Dave.
What do you have, a respiratory infection?
Yeah, I got like flu-like symptoms.
Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. I've been on lifetime asthmatic, right? And I've had plenty of respiratory infections. What to do is call your doctor and get some nice red cherry cough medicine with the codeine in it. And that'll clear it up 1, 2, 3. Because when I ever got a bad respiratory infection, that did the trick, So if you can get a prescription and get that stuff, you should be good tomorrow.
All right. I'll keep that in mind, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah. And that game Sunday against Miami, I mean, I was never so disgusted in my life. To play that way against a team that we despise. I mean, I've had it with this 2025 version. I mean, I don't know going forward with the coaching staff. I know the players we have are lacking, as Beast would say, lackative. But it's pretty sad. It's a sad situation. He can't even watch. It's gotten to the point where, as mania, we'll never check out. But the 2025 version, I'm checked out on this team, man. They're horrid. The coaching's horrible. I don't know going forward. You guys can talk about the quarterback. Who's going to develop him? And, everybody's a GM. They got, don't want to trade this, trade that, trade this. If you don't have a quarterback, where are we going here? Where are we going? I'm not a personnel man. Everybody's a personnel guy, and all these terminologies, about quarterbacks today. I mean, it's crazy. Bridge quarterback, a high end, low end. I mean, just get a player that a guy could win. That Mendoza seems like he's got the it factor, So high ceiling, low ceiling. The most important factor is I can do it when it's crunch time. Okay? That's the factor. Okay. Next point. I'm not on Neil's 13 points, but this next point. I know
Take
the
all the
Gators.
time you need, Dave.
Well, I got to meet my buddy for lunch, my old line mate. So I'm running a little late now. And anyway, next point. I know Gator put my name in for the raffle the other night. Okay. And I guess I won. I
You
won a
did.
jersey.
You won a
Okay.
jersey.
I generally don't wear jerseys. I wear T-shirts. So, I mean, I only wear my own jerseys, whether it be baseball or hockey, whatever it is. So here's my offer. I heard Gary talking about, Decker being on the edge about being a Jets fan. So my offer is I offer that jersey to Decker. Okay.
Wow.
So we can get her back in the fold. That's I see that as maybe something that'll be, lead her down the path in these tough times to Jets fandom. So that may be. Hopefully she stays with us. And I know the mother's a Bears fan. I think so. Easy to be a Bears fan now if you get
What
on
a
that
great
bandwagon.
gesture, Dave. That's awesome. What a guy.
Yeah. So that's my thing for today. And I've sort of discussed it with losing to Miami. I despise that team, and that team showed no fight. And, can we get Sherwood out of town? Could somebody call Salah up? Get that guy out of here. I mean, come on. I can't believe they signed that guy to a long-term contract. I just can't. I mean, the new coaching staff taking over. Didn't they see with this guy? He can't plug any holes. Nothing. So, Jake, get well, my man. Try that stuff out. I'm telling you, it works.
Thank you,
it
Dave.
works.
I appreciate
All right.
it. And that's
God
an
bless
amazing gesture
everybody.
by you. That's an awesome gesture.
Okay. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Brigham.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not too dirty. One Punch Brigger. Hated jokes just like his ass. One Punch Brigger. Doesn't know they need done.
Now that is an awesome, awesome idea. Gary's actually still on the line.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
All right, Gary, what do you think of that olive branch right there? The ultimate olive branch from Dave Brigham.
Shout out, Dave. I appreciate that. Decker's still sleeping, but otherwise I'd have her come thank you. But thank you. That's kind. I appreciate it. And thank you. What jersey is it?
You pick the jersey you want. So we could do a current Jet. We could do Jet Legends. I got to make sure they have kid sizes, but whatever the player Decker wants, we'll do our best to make it happen. If you accept the offer from Dave Brigham.
No, of course I accept it. Thank you, Brig. I appreciate that, and thank you. And next time Decker's up, I'll have her thank you personally. That's cool, Dave. I appreciate it. Thank you. See, I told you, Dave and I made amends on the Addy show. We did. We're good. We're cool.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gary, you let us know the selection that Decker makes for the current Jet, or if she wants like a Revis jersey or whatever, and we'll make it happen.
So, all right. Decker, Martin, Corbett, or Revis, I guess. I mean, what do you guys think in the chat? I'm doing a legendary Jet. I'm not doing a current Jet because I was gonna get her a Source jersey and then he got traded. So we're not doing that. I mean, you guys tell me. Decker, I think is cool, or one of the three legends: Corbett, Martin, Revis.
I got to see if they have an Eric Decker.
Okay,
They
if
still
not,
sell 'em.
then Martin, Corbett, or Revis. I'll do one of those three.
All right. Well, we'll
All
figure
right.
this one out.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
Love it.
All right.
Women need to vacuum and shouldn't be allowed to vote.
What a gesture by Dave Brigham. That's why this channel is the best, this community. Hey, Felix Campos, one of the greats. He's check. Excuse me. Sorry. It actually hurts to cough. My abdomen area is in pain. But Felix, I got you. You're in the raffle for 5.
Felix Campos, he wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman show. Take the money.
If you got a membership from Felix, thank him. Raffle's coming up. We got a couple calls left before then. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator sent me this. I haven't played it yet. It's a brand new intro for JJ. So let's listen in and find out whatever the heck this is.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. He loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
That was terrible. I'm disappointed because over the years I've given this show a lot of memorable moments, and I'm not saying good memorable moments, but he had a lot to pull from. He could have talked about my chicken legs. There's just so much that he could have talked about, and
you didn't like it? I thought it was magical.
Yeah, not a fan of that intro.
Wow.
You thought it was what?
I thought it was magical.
What'd you think about it? Oh,
I thought it was magical.
Of course you would like it. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the Mets really quickly. I know this is a Jets show, but let me ask you this, Jake. If you could see the Yankees win another championship or the Jets win another championship, which one would you pick?
Well, I've never seen the Jets win a championship, so the Jets.
I'm in a situation where, as a Mets fan,
I'll tell you what.
The championship either. And
Gators
the closest thing
is better than your internet, that's for sure.
It probably is. But I would rather see the Jets win the Super Bowl. I think that would mean more to me. However, the Mets just pissed me off, man. I can't believe they did this. And I was mad when they got rid of Nimmo because I'm a huge Nimmo fan. He comes out to Christian music whenever he walks out to do his at-bat, and I always like that. And they got rid of Nimmo. Now they got rid of, well, they didn't get rid of Edwin Diaz. He signed with a different team. And it's just, the Mets just piss me off, man. I don't get it. I feel like in baseball, it's so much easier to turn around your franchise than it is in football. And the Mets just, for some reason, just can't figure it out. So I'm pissed about that. Yeah, I was like heartbroken. Like every time Edwin Diaz comes in to the game, he has the coolest intro for any player ever. The lights get dark. Those trumpets start playing, and it's always amazing when he gets onto the field. But it is what it is. What can you do? When it comes to the Jets, man, let me tell you guys something. It's so funny that everyone is like making fun of me for wanting Shedeur Sanders now. Obviously, he just got named the starter for the rest of the season. So depending on how he plays, they might not need a quarterback. But the fact that you guys would say, yeah, I don't want Shedeur Sanders, who we just saw put up 4 touchdowns, 364 yards, because of his, off the field shenanigans and all that stuff is crazy to me. I mean, I don't think that matters. I think when a player can play, you deal with the off the field stuff. If a player can play, am I wrong on that?
I think it depends on what type of off the field stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, what is his off the field problems? He has like a podcast and he streams and stuff. It's not like he's a bad guy. Like I would get it if he was a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. Yeah, he's a little cocky, but his dad is Deion Sanders. Like, what do you expect?
Again, I don't know why we're so focused on Shedeur Sanders with your calls. Who cares? He's not going to be a Jet.
We're not. Because it's fun. This is fun to talk about different things and hypotheticals. That's what we do. Like what else are we going to talk about?
But it's not realistic. Like we're talking about actual realistic options at quarterback for the Jets. He's not one of them. Gator writes in. I'm honestly
changed my mind. I'm all for. What did you say?
I honestly put a lot of effort into that intro and didn't want it to be mean. Kept it fun. I'm a little shocked. I might need to change it now and be a super douche.
That's funny. Anyways, I'm all for action.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. He loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
I think it's a great intro. And it's better than your internet today, JJ, which I couldn't deal with anymore. I tried it and went on as long as I could. Boomtown in the raffle for one. And yesterday's Jersey raffle winner, Ryan McCarthy, in the raffle for one. Thank you to both. All right, home stretch here because I need to stop talking. Speaking of great intros, ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
I'm Black Gypsy, here to set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face, or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Gypsy, I'm Black Gypsy, I'm Black Gypsy, I'm Black Gypsy.
Yo,
Mr. Gypsy, how we feeling?
Mr. Asman, not bad, not bad. I thought that was super nice of Brigga to do that for Gary. It's pretty cool to do. Like,
That was great. That's the ultimate olive branch between two bitter rivals.
make peace, not war. And for JJ's ungrateful. That intro was pretty cool.
Yeah, come on.
Like, I don't understand that. So since we're talking about draft, like I'm over the draft because we're not there yet. Like there's still stuff to be talked about of the team that's going on right now. Our season to me for next year starts the next game. Because I now get to see a rookie OC with a rookie quarterback and see if he can make a game plan for said rookie before we give a rookie OC another rookie quarterback. I get to see something for the future. Sometime let's hope there's a glimpse where Brady Cook and Tanner come up with something. I don't care if they win or not. I just want to see. I want to see him look competitive. I want to see him see what he can do. Just basics. If he can do that. So in these next couple games, whether we win or lose, I just want to see what Tanner can do with Cook, whether Cook is good or bad. Now, my next point is to what Sabo said, which I found crazy because the disrespect to the UDFAs is insane. When we've had UDFAs that played in the league and ended up being good, and we've had players that are bottom draft that end up being good. Purdy is a perfect example of that. So for us just to wipe our ass with Brady Cook is kind of disrespectful, like in one way. All right. Sabo said if he played great the rest of this season, like he wouldn't even think about it. Maybe he would be a backup. Now that to me is crazy, right? If we have a rookie this year, and let's say he plays amazing, right? And we win all the rest of the games. We're going to a hypothetical now, and we win all the rest of the games with Brady Cook. How do we look at Brady Cook if the UDFA comes in and Tanner can do something with him and he wins a whole bunch of games for the rest of the season? Are we still going to get Mendoza next year if we have a UDFA that played against some of the harder teams toward the end of the season and plays good? Like, how do we skip past that and then say we're going to draft another guy when we have a guy that could be good? Just hypothetically, right?
I think it was more
Now, if he plays
hyperbole
bad,
what he was saying, right? Like not trying to put too much stock in December performances as the end all be all. I think that was his point. Obviously, Brady Cook balls out. He'll have a role on the team next year in the quarterback room.
that's because it's just weird for him to say that to me. That like there's a lot of people in the chat were like, Brady Cook sucks even if he plays good. We don't want him. Like, how is that a thought process? You have a rookie and you have a rookie head coach, and if he ends up being good, that could be our second or third QB next year.
Yeah,
we
but Black, there's nothing that Brady Cook could do here that's realistic where we'd go into next year being like, we got our guy already.
No, we have a backup already.
Right.
So
I think that's what you hope. You hope that he
yeah,
shows.
that's what I'm hoping for. Like I want to see Tanner develop a backup or develop a QB that can be on our squad for next year because he's going to have a jump on the playbook from this year that the rookie is not going to have next year, whether it be the same playbook or a different playbook.
Well, let's be real. The odds of Brady Cook being a better option for the Jets than someone they take in the first round this year is very minimal. Like we just got to call for what it is. There are, outliers. Sure, Tony Romo was a really good quarterback in the league. He was a UDFA, but like for every Tony Romo, there's a bunch of guys that we don't even remember because they're out of football.
So from what I saw in the last game, like he has stuff to work on. He definitely has a lot of stuff to work on, but he's not bad. For anyone that tells me that guy stinks, he's not. He doesn't stink. Like, you know who stinks? Fields stinks. Like Tyrod is barely better from Tyrod's play this year. It's a little bit better than Brady Cook. That's what I see. So in the next couple games that he gets to play, if he can play to the level of Tyrod, we don't need Tyrod. Tyrod can go because Tyrod is paper. Like he It makes no sense to bring Tyrod back when he's going to get hurt. So then we're going to have another quarterback anyway. Like, he should not be on the team next year. His time has come and gone. Thank you, Tyrod. You played awesome for us. You got to go. Like, I'm very interested in the next couple games to see what the OC can do, because Sabo said something perfect about when Cook came in the game. Like, Tanner didn't simplify the game for him to make it just a simple start, like a couple dump offs, a screen here and there, run the ball with Brees, like throw the ball to Brees, make it simple so he's not jumping in the fire right away. Like, he put him in the fire right away and didn't have anything for him. So let's see if this week he can actually build a playbook for that kid, and let's see if the kid can do anything positive, because Tanner is my thing that I'm looking at. And everybody says that, like, he's been mediocre or okay. Like, I don't think so. I need to see more from Tanner, and this is the perfect test to see what he can do. Like,
again, I think we just fundamentally disagree, because I think expecting Tanner Engstrand to turn Brady Cook into an outstanding passer is just not realistic.
I don't think you have to turn him into an outstanding. The kid has a good arm, and he's accurate, and he has awareness. Like, he just needs gameplay and touch.
Let's
So,
see if he
like,
shows improvement this week. I think he will. It'll be a much better situation for him than not
Yeah.
coming to a game down 21-0. He gets a full week
I
of
know.
preparation. So we'll see. But I'm also not going to sit here and lambaste Tanner Engstrand if Brady Cook struggles and doesn't play well. That's kind of what I
Jake,
expect to happen.
if he doesn't build a playbook for a rookie coming in, I have to bash him, because you have to put those things into play. Context. He's a rookie. He's a UDFA, as everyone says. That sucks. So now you have to build something for this kid to be able to do anything. I just want to see him build something in a playbook for a rookie, because so far we have not seen him really build anything. And I'll give him the pass. We've had 2 bad quarterbacks. Now you have a rookie. I don't care if it's a bad rookie. Show me what you can do with the rookie, because next year.
But who cares if he's a rookie or not? If he's not good, he's not good. It doesn't matter whether he's a rookie or a 15-year veteran.
But we have no idea if Brady Cook's not good. Like,
We don't. But there's a reason why he was undrafted, Black Gypsy.
well, let's see. I'm very excited for this week's game for just that reason. Which is the only excitement I can have for the rest of it, because Briga, I'm almost checked out. I don't want to talk about the draft. I fucking hate talking about the draft this early in the season. It infuriates me. Oh, let's get this guy. We don't even know if we're going to be able to get any of these people. So the talking about this is pure nonsense. Like, what we can talk about is what we have in front of us. We have an OC and a rookie QB. So let's focus on that. Let's see what we can actually do with that, and if this team can get better before we give him another one next year. Because if he's not able to do that with this QB next year, I don't have a lot of faith that he's going to be good with Mendoza next year. That's the thing that I'm worried about. Like, I need to see improvement from him this year, so when next year comes, I could be like, you know what, Brady Cook sucked, but he gave him a good play plan. Brady Cook just couldn't do it. Let's hope he can do something better with the next guy. That's pretty much my point.
JETS, Jets. Black Gypsy's obsession with evaluating Engstrand based on how Brady Cook performs is fascinating to me. JD, I think, nails it. BG setting himself up for disappointment. Yeah, just expecting Brady Cook to look awesome is just, I wouldn't count on it. And I wouldn't necessarily use that against Tanner Engstrand if he doesn't. Like, he was a UDFA. If it was a first-round pick struggling, then sure, we could blame the coordinator. That's how it goes. But I don't think there's a direct correlation to, well, if Brady Cook balls out or doesn't, that's the only evaluation for Tanner Engstrand, who I don't think is going anywhere. Hey, Eli Betts, I didn't forget about you. You're in the raffle for 5. Earlier in the show, Dave Briga offered to get Gary's daughter, Decker, a Jets jersey in the player of her choosing. And ladies and gentlemen, Decker is on the line and has called in.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Hello, Decker.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Did your dad explain that you get to pick a Jets jersey of your choosing?
Yes.
Have you thought about what you're going to pick?
Not yet.
Okay. Are you
Curtis
excited?
Martin, like Daddy has.
Yeah.
Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
You want this jersey, number 28?
Yeah.
Curtis Martin? Done.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen, Decker.
Thank you for giving me the jersey, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Briga, making dreams happen. How's everything else with you, Decker? School's going well?
Yeah. Cannoli, want to come up?
Cannoli, you want to be you want to be on the Jake Asman show, Cannoli?
Cannoli, the dog's doing well.
Oh, we're so fat.
You call Cannoli fat?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yummy.
There you go.
Aw. Cannoli.
She's too fat for that.
Decker, tell your dad to send me an email with your size and address, and I'll make sure we get the jersey ordered for you this week, okay?
Okay.
You got it. And I'm going to play you out the only way I know how. How about a little chicken and pasta song?
Okay.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary and Decker.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza at the closest Shell gas station. Cause chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
Great call there. All right. JJ claims his internet is fixed. We got JJ and then Ralphie, and then it's raffle time.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. He loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
Yes, JJ?
Gator's intro is growing on me. I still don't like it, but it's growing on me. With that being
like
said,
about it?
I don't know. I don't like Gator, so I'm a hater, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's a good intro. Like he went out of his way to make it good.
I actually enjoyed being the only caller to have been calling in since day one on the show who didn't have an intro. I was getting used to it. But that's not the point. Let me get to the point real quick. So I actually sent in a super chat yesterday and I said, I could be wrong, but I don't think any of the top quarterbacks, those teams traded significant draft capital to get them. And then Will Parkinson said, no, you're wrong. The last 3 MVPs actually, those teams traded up significantly to get them, which being Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. And then I was thinking about it and I did a little bit of research and I'm actually on board with you guys. Actually, I'm going to go a little extreme. Do whatever it takes to get Mendoza or Dante Moore. I would prefer Dante Moore. I think he's going to be better, but I don't want to give this team any more excuses. I want us to finally just go out there and get what's as close to being, a sure thing as possible. And it looks like, Mendoza is going to be that. I'm leaning towards Dante Moore, but at the end of the day, we have to do whatever it takes. So I'm not opposed to us trading that Colts pick or packaging that Colts pick and swapping our first round pick to get up in the draft and get Mendoza. Now, with that being said, though, my only hesitation is, Jake, can you think of any really good quarterbacks that won the Heisman Trophy? Because I feel like when quarterbacks win the Heisman in college, they end up not being great in the NFL, with the exception of maybe Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield.
Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels.
I mean, Jaden Daniels, look at him. He hasn't played all year. He had one good season.
He's been hurt. I mean, he had one great season. He had the best rookie season a quarterback's ever had.
And he's been hurt, and Joe Burrow has been consistent.
He's been hurt this year. Yeah, I mean, yes, Joe Burrow has had injury problems. When he plays, he's a top 3 quarterback in the sport.
I don't know. I feel like the Heisman, you could look at Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston.
Newton.
Say again?
Cam Newton, Carson Palmer.
Okay, so do you think there's a Heisman curse when it comes to quarterbacks, or not at all?
Caleb Williams? No, I don't think it's the end all be all. It's an award for the best college player. It doesn't always translate to the NFL. Sometimes it does.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant. Like, but that was a question. It wasn't a statement. I know everyone's gonna say JJ with his worst takes. Once again, it's a question. I don't know if the Heisman, a quarterback winning the Heisman translates well into the NFL. I feel like it's kind of like the Madden cover curse or being on like Hard Knocks. Like it's like an unwritten thing that they're going to end up sucking somehow, some way, or, getting injured or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, I'm all for it. We got to fix quarterback. You've changed my mind. You all have changed my mind. We got to fix quarterback. So let's go out there and do whatever it takes to get the guy that we want. And then right after that, we definitely have to pair him with a top wide receiver. I want the best wide receiver out there to pair with him, along with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. So, you guys changed my mind.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. He loves the cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
Well, we just got out of Menards. It's colder than hell out here. Well, it's already 34 degrees. With the wind, it makes it a little bit more like 26. But we're ready to go. We're waiting for that bus now. Can we get ready for the Wheel of Champions? Let's go.
Not so fast, Beast. I got one more call, but first a super chat from Yeetus Deletus. Yes, let's install a new playbook in 1 week. That will tell us if Tanner's competent because all rookies are the same. Shake my head. Yeetus versus Black Gypsy over Tanner Engstrand and Brady Cook. Again, do I think Brady Cook will play better this week? I'd imagine he will, given a full week of prep and not coming in down 21-zip. But if he doesn't, he's a UDFA. So I don't think it's fair to say, well, if he sucks, that means Engstrand's really, really bad. I don't think it's the same thing. Ralphie is next, and then we raffle away our 3 signed items in the weekly raffle. Hello, Ralphie.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
What's up, Ralphie?
I wanted to thank you. Got the Mangold jersey.
Hey.
So, thanks. Awesome prize.
Well, thanks for all your support, Ralphie. You deserve it.
No problem. All right. Couple of things. First, sorry about Don Mattingly. I think he got robbed.
Yeah, I actually really thought there was a good chance he was going to get in this time. Or him and Dale Murphy, I thought were going to get in, but it's only Jeff Kent.
Jeff Kent doesn't seem like, I don't know. He should be in the Hall of Very Good for me, but I'm sure I'm surprised he had so many votes because he only had less than 50% voting in all his 10 tries, I think, with the original.
With the writers.
Yeah. All right, football. I actually thought that Engstrom had a nice bit of play calling in that second half there. There were a few, you could see Miami was biting on a few, short passes, and then he kind of faked them. And then I like the way he was, and Mechie should have had a touchdown there. So I think Engstrom actually, I see more out of him than I do from Wilks. Let's put it that way. Not that we're seeing a tremendous amount from everyone, but I do think that Engstrom is trying to put together some good plays around Cook, at least the second half. So I'm interested to see what happens this game.
It at least makes it a little more watchable, assuming it's Brady Cook, because there is that slight unknown on what he is. I'm not expecting much, though.
Right. And my second one is, do you think that Glenn and Muji are wary of the fact of drafting a first-round quarterback very high because the coaching staff and or the head coach and or the general managers for many of these quarterbacks recently have gotten axed because either it wasn't working or not enough patience or they weren't getting along with the quarterback, and now they have more invested in the quarterback, and maybe they might go with a more veteran route like Mac Jones and think maybe for job preservation that's better.
For job preservation, I think I'd argue that getting the quarterback this year is better because then they get the growing pain year, then they go into year 3, and the selling point is, well, now we get to supplement the rest of the team around our young quarterback with all these picks we have and cap space, and then off we go. If they go the veteran route and they only win, let's say 6 games next year, Ralphie, let's say they go from 3 or 4 to 6 or 7, are they necessarily guaranteed a third year at that point? And then say they got to get their rookie quarterback in 27. Well, then you got to win with a rookie. Look at Brian Dable. He had to win this year and he couldn't even save his job with Dart playing well.
Yeah, well, he went, the Chicago coach went right away. Urban Meyer was a mess with Trevor Lawrence. Like recent history has been, you're not pairing up a coach with a quarterback and even letting him develop him. If it's not working out, they're going to go for somebody else. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, there's definitely something, something to that. But I still think, big picture, it's better for Glenn and Muji to get their guy this year than take the risk for.
I look at Tampa Bay. Sorry to speak over you, but I look at Tampa Bay because I would have forgot this point. But look at Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, and like, imagine if Tampa Bay would have had to keep trying to come up with a quarterback. Now they've had Mayfield for a couple of years, and even though that coach is not great, and we know that, he's still been there the whole time because they made the playoffs. They're middle of the road.
They weren't picking as high or have the same resources the Jets do, right? Like Brady's last year, they made the playoffs, so that pick was automatically in the top 20. Like they weren't in position to get a quarterback, whereas the Jets, if they're at pick 5 and have 5 total firsts over the next 2 years plus extra seconds, like they're equipped to go and get a quarterback, whereas Tampa wasn't with where they were.
Yeah, I get it. I guess it's just two trains of thought because of recent history. Head coaches are not safe, even if they draft a quarterback very high in that 1 year, in that same year.
Yeah, look, Glenn's not safe unless he wins games. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. All right. And I know that Michael Clemens is totally going to blow our tanking situation anyway, because somehow, some way against the Pats or against Buffalo, this guy's going to have a strip sack for a recovery and a touchdown that's going to make us drop like 3 or 4 spots. So I just know it.
You might be onto something. I hope not, but that'd be the most Jet-like scenario. How they cost themselves draft capital. Michael Clemens having like his prime Lawrence Taylor game. Unreal.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Feel better.
Thanks, Ralphie. Appreciate it. Good call. Curly, of course, goes, "You're right." Look, I don't think the Jets are going to win another game, but we can't rule it out. It is the Jets. We cannot rule it out. All right. I think we're caught up on the super chats and the memberships. We got 3 prizes to raffle away today. Signed helmet by CJ Mosley. Signed football by Nick Mangold. And our grand prize is a signed helmet by Broadway Joe Namath. So with that, it's officially time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
3 epic prizes. Only 3 winners. And how about this? At the buzzer, Papa Jet waited about as late as humanly possible, but he's in for 5. Papa Jet, I am adding your 5 entries right now. Okay. With that, we are officially ready to spin the Wheel of Champions. Again, good luck to everyone. If you win, email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address so I know where to send your raffle prize to this week. Good luck to everyone, and thank you to everyone who supports these raffles. With the views down for every Jet content creator because the team sucks, the memberships and the super chats, they really keep the show afloat year-round, so you guys are the best. Here we go. Let's start with the CJ Mosley signed helmet, shall we? The winner of the Mosley autographed helmet is the big fella, one of the OGs of the program. Your big fella is the first winner of our show. All right, 2 prizes to go in raffle 53, which, by the way, it's officially 1 year of doing weekly raffles on the show. We started it in the first week of December last year, so it's a year of these raffles, and we got 2 more prizes to raffle away. The next item is a signed football by the late, great Nick Mangold. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Mangold signed football is Darth Crypto. Mr. Crypto, congratulations. You are the second winner in our weekly raffle, which means we have 1 prize left. the grand prize of the weekly raffle, a signed helmet by Broadway Joe Namath. We have one more spin for the grand prize. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Namath signed Jets helmet is the Chuck Wagon. How about that? The Chuck Wagon is the winner. When he cooks on the show, he can have that Broadway Joe Namath helmet next to him in his kitchen. The Chuck Wagon is your third and final winner. Give it up for our three winners. Again, the big fella, the winner of our CJ Mosley sign helmet. Darth Crypto, the winner of the Nick Mangold football and Chuck Wagon. Excuse me. The winner of the Joe Namath sign helmet. Congrats to our three winners. You guys are the best. Couldn't have done it without you. Really appreciate the daily support. We'll have a new set of prizes this week. We already announced that a signed Revis football is the top prize in raffle 54. Again, this afternoon, as long as I don't cough up a lung, we have the film review with Joe Blewett. However, we're not just doing Jets Dolphins film. How about Fernando Mendoza versus Ohio State film? So that will be on the agenda this afternoon because I know people are super interested in that, obviously. So I'll talk to you guys then. Again, thank you for watching. JETS, 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 Jets.
Yeah, I'm a tough son of a bitch. I've been through it all. I mean, I've been hit by a bus, still got back up.
You've been hit by a bus. Let's start. What type of bus? Short bus?
Public transit. The guy was an asshole, so yeah, I already took care of it. Don't worry about it.
So what happened after he hit you?
It got physical, so I don't want to talk about it.
You beat up the bus driver?
But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Wait, hold on. And then the second thing is you said you survived an ear infection?
3 times.
Wow.
2005, 2015, 2016. Survived.
Hold on. This is a huge accomplishment. You're a 3-time ear infection survivor?
No, that don't count.
What do you mean they don't count?
That's the past. This is the future. The future is...
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.